Welcome to the 831 live from Monterey County here in the picturesque city of Salinas, California. Tonight, local phenom Ruben Villa IV faces Marlon Olea, el Colombiano, for the vacant WBO featherweight title. From the Storm House and the Salad Bowl of the world, we bring you new blood. Alongside boxing scribe Steve Kim, I am Beto Duran. Thank you for joining us for another edition of Thompson Boxing Promotions. As they're in their 18th year, but now we're on the road as Thompson Boxing continues to grow their brand and their fighters. One of them, who they're really highly touted, is Ruben Villa IV. You've seen him here on the Facebook shows. Well, now he gets to fight in his hometown for the first time as a professional. And Steve, there's a buzz in Salinas.
This show is basically sold out, and I believe some standing room only tickets were put available. This is a very momentous occasion for young Villa. First 8-round fight, first youth title fight, and his first fight back home, where the hope is he can become what Jose Ramirez is to the Central Valley and Fresno, California.
We're in Salinas, California. You mentioned John Steinbeck, the Grapes of Wrath. Well, tonight it'll be Ruben Villa IV trying to create his own wrath inside the ring. 6 fights coming your way, and Brandon Trejo from Napa, California will be opening up the show tonight. We'll also see some of the new Thompson Boxing signees from the Sacramento area. So Steve Kim and I will be here with you. Now, you know how this works. On Facebook, leave comments, share, like, let everybody know what's going on. And normally we're here on a Friday, but tonight it's Saturday, so we know you guys are going to be even more alert, because boxing fans on a Saturday, Steve.
Well, listen, there really is no other show on tonight, if I do say so myself. So, again, this is the Harry Carey of the Facebook Live world. It's very interesting. I've been to the Orange Bowl. I was at the Rose Bowl in January. Now I'm at the Salad Bowl. I feel as though now I have seen it all.
Worldwide Steve and Beto Duran coming your way. Sonny Franco's our ring announcer tonight. He's always dapper.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. We're streaming to you live from the Storm House in Salinas, California, where tonight Thompson Boxing Promotions and Banner Promotions are proud to present a new blood. Ladies and gentlemen, a fantastic fight card lined up for you this evening with one championship bout coming your way. Well, there's only one question left to ask, and that is, Salinas, California, are you ready? Well, let's get the action underway. Please welcome the first fighter out of the red corner. From Baja California, Ensenada, Mexico, Jerez, Bogal, El Cañonero Padilla. I need all officials ringside. All officials ringside, please.
Coming his way, Bogar Padilla, an 18-year-old out of Ensenada, Mexico. As right now, look, if you send us information, especially like our scout Ryan Scalia, the boxing hipster in Calgary, the message from Ryan: don't be fooled by Bogar Padilla's own record. Was a national level amateur in Mexico, thrown to the wolves in his debut. And I'll explain a little bit more about what you mean by thrown to the wolves in a bit.
From Napa, California, give it up for Brendan Trejo.
Sacramento own, or I'm sorry, corrected, Napa's own Brandon Trejo out of the Napa County Sheriff's Activities Gym. Managed by Danny Zamora. There you see Padilla's opponent for tonight. Trejo and Padilla both inside the ring. Trejo 3-0. Nice young fighter, Steve.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. We're coming to you from the Storm House in the beautiful city of Salinas, California, where tonight, Thompson Boxing Promotions and Banner Promotions are proud to present a new blood. Ladies and gentlemen, we begin tonight's event with the first bout of the evening, scheduled for 4 rounds of action in the 132-pound weight division. At ringside, your 3 judges scoring the bout, should it go the distance, are Susan Thomas McCatlin, Kermit Sherms, and Marshall Walker. Here we go, fight fans. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner to my left. He steps to the ring tonight wearing the silver trunks trimmed with black. When he stepped onto the scale, he weighed in officially at 131 pounds even. As a professional, his record stands 0 wins against 1 defeat. Ladies and gentlemen, from Baja California, Ensenada, Mexico, introducing Bogar, El Cañonero Padilla. And introducing his opponent, fighting across the ring out of the blue corner to my right. He steps to the ring tonight wearing the red trunks trimmed with black and white. When he stepped onto the scale, he weighed in officially at 131.5 pounds. As a professional, he enters the ring tonight undefeated. 3 wins with 0 losses. One of those victories coming to you by way of KO. Ladies and gentlemen, from Napa, California, here is Moreno Trejo. And your referee in charge, Dan Snell, to give the final instructions.
As we're ready to go, tail of the tape for this one, Trejo and Padilla, Steve.
Yes, and Trejo is 21. One note, while this is technically a lightweight bout, both guys really are junior lightweights coming in just above the 130-pound weight limit.
Let's go, Brandon!
Underway from the Storm House in Salinas, California. Brandon Trejo in the red. Managed by Danny Zamora, Napa County Sheriff's Activities Gym. Trainer Oscar Ortiz, the lieutenant with the Napa County Sheriff's Department. Really high on Trejo.
Nice and settle, nice and settle.
As Bogart eats an uppercut. Comes out really aggressive is the Mexican 18-year-old who has a good right hand.
Find the ring, Brandon. Off the jab, Brandon, find the ring.
Padilla, 0-1, lands a solid right hand. Cañonero, you said, because he drops cannons. That's what he's known for.
But we have seen Trejo in his first 3 professional fights. I don't think he's ever been buzzed like that. There have been 2 really good overhand rights from Bogar Padilla early on here in round number 1.
Move your head, Brandon. You gotta move your head.
Padilla from Ensenada, Mexico, was on the junior national team with them.
Move it, Brandon, don't stand there.
They want to turn pro.
Move that head, Brandon. Off the stick.
He said he was going to come out really aggressive, and that's what he's doing right now in the silver and black.
Move your head, Brandon.
Good body shot. And Beto, just going back and looking at the previous 3 fights of Trejo, I don't think he's ever been under this much pressure early on.
No chance at all. Some redness on the left eye of Trejo.
Well, what Trejo's going to have to do with a very hard-charging Padilla who keeps coming over the top with that right hand, understand your jab is your best friend at this moment. Lay it out from a proper distance and keep something in the face of Padilla. Padilla's been able to breach and there's a good right 1-2 by Trejo. Work off that jab and calm the pace down just a little bit.
Padilla, his only pro fight was in Tijuana. Said he was robbed before he got in the ring. Like, what do you mean by that? Everybody makes a claim, and they set me up. He said the guy that they had at the scale wasn't the guy they agreed to fight. That the guy at the scale had more experience, and he's tagging Trejo here as Trejo's trying to hold on.
Beto, again, when he loses distance, Trejo, and he does not understand where he is in that ring from a distance perspective, Padilla's been able to find a consistent home for that right cross.
Some blood from Trejo. Also some blood from Padilla's mouth. So good opening round, a good scrap. That's Padilla with another good right. Solid rights again. Uppercut from Trejo. Opening it up strong at the Salinas Stormhouse as Brandon Trejo is dropped.
Beto, once again, he lost control of distance, and there was a right hand over the top. I don't think Trejo ever saw it coming.
What a round for Bogart Padilla, el Mexicano de Ensenada.
Beto, I thought that was a very close round, but with that knockdown, that seals it 10-8 for Padilla. And this is a 4-round bout. Keep that in mind. You got to fight at a very, very quick tempo and with a sense of urgency. You only have 3 more rounds to make up those 2 points.
Henry Ramirez watching right now, 10-8 Padilla.
Yeah, and this is what was some of the issues for Trejo. Trejo, again, dips inside, and again, does not keep distance. And that is the danger. If you're not going to use a jab to create some space, you better get that chin tucked in, and you better be nice and low. None of that happened in that particular sequence.
Rick Sierra watching on the Facebook. Appreciate you always in the 305. For those of you wondering, LaRon Mitchell's fight was called off. Injury to LaRon's back. As Bogart Padilla coming out strong, trying to open up some eyes. 18 years old is Padilla.
And Padilla's walking right through the front door. There is no resistance. There's nothing being put right in front of him. And again, this distance is where Padilla is quicker off that trigger with that right hand.
Bloody nose from Brandon Trejo.
Don't come straight out, Brandon. Don't
He's
come
in the
straight
red,
out.
and he's under a lot of duress. Finally throws a jab, but Bogart keeps coming. Padilla doesn't care where he's at, doesn't care who he's facing. This kid is hungry.
Well, he's also doing something very intelligent. He is now layering his attack, Beto, to the lower body. Those body shots are bringing those hands back down of Trejo. I'll be honest with you, I don't think Trejo or his camp expected this type of fight from Padilla. Oh, good right hand over the top again.
He said he loads up and he just throws bombs. That's a hell of a scouting report for Bogart Padilla.
Well, this has been an early storm in this house. There's no doubt about it. Now, Trejo's going to try to dig in. The issue is, though, I don't think he's quite as smooth or as quick off the trigger.
As Padilla just trying to measure him up. Trejo trying to go to the body. Padilla doesn't care. Like, none of Trejo's punches really are moving Padilla around. 1-2 combination from Bogart.
Dig into the body, Brandon. Dig into the body, Brandon. Dig.
Share this right now on the Facebook. Let people know you're watching a hell of a fight here in the second round. 18-year-old Bogart Padilla from Mexico. 21-year-old Danny Trejo.
Oh, good
Brandon
right
Trejo.
hand again. You see what's going on with Padilla there, Beto? Padilla's able to just walk through the front step, and he has that gauge of distance, and there's nothing out there dissuading him. Look at that again. One thing Trejo's going to look at when he watches his game film, better establish the jab from a proper distance. That's been an issue from the opening bell.
He's throwing that lead hook, but you haven't seen any jabs from Trejo.
And the other issue that Trejo has is that on the inside, Padilla is a little bit more, I believe, smoother puncher, a little bit more compact. If they're going to throw punches at the same time, Padilla has consistently beaten them to the shot.
Done with 2. It's only scheduled for 4. All right, let me look at the Facebook. It's been going good. Tony Zavala, don't share it. We don't want people to, or you're at work. All right, I got you. Henry Ramirez, why don't you come and sit here with us if you're going to analyze the fight on Facebook. Jeff Roney, thanks for streaming the card. Well, thank you for watching this. Mark Abrams, how you doing? Roger Chapa, man, I'm not busy. Steve Kim is also busy. This guy's got a show. He's got a podcast. He's got columns to write. He's got fights to pick with people that don't like Miami. Marta Najero, saludos de Baja California. And yes, Joshua, there was a baby crying by the microphones. The opening bout here with the main event tonight, Ruben Villa against Marlon Olea.
And Beto, through 2, I have it 20-17 in favor of Padilla. Keep this in mind, this is a very short fight. He's got a lot of ground to cover, Trejo does. He's only got 6 minutes left.
Trejo's from Napa, but his manager, Danny Zamora, brought him to Southern California. He moved in with Zamora's family and also with Michael Dutchover, Thompson boxing fighter and banner, and did his work for this fight at Legends Gym in Norwalk, which is a hub of great quality sparring, going against some good names. But Steve, right now he looks like he doesn't know what he's doing.
Well, right here at the Storm House, this has been trial by fire for Trejo. He's been raked across the coals. And the other issue is, again, I think Ryan Scalia absolutely called it. That record of 0-1 was very, very deceptive for Padilla. Keep this in mind, he's only 18 years old, and you can see just the way he moves and some of his body control. This guy has a lot of technique, and he's got a lot of guile. Very crafty in there. Seems to be a little bit more of a loose-limbed, smoother puncher. And that quick right hand, Trejo has never been able to quite see it throughout the night.
Both fighters with their mouth bloody. Interesting why they would take on Padilla.
Ooh, good body shot. You see what he did right there?
Yep.
He just stepped right on his front foot and he dug a hook to the body. And that's
the double left hook, Steve. Smacking the face of Trejo.
Yeah, Padilla is just mugging him on the inside. So again, if you're not going to be able to outbox a guy from the perimeter, you better be a little bit better on the inside. And quite frankly, Padilla has shown to be a better fighter from wherever this fight has been fought.
The aggressiveness from the Mexican Bogar Padilla. As Trejo's trying to get to the body, Padilla just shaking it off. I like what I see from Bogar Padilla.
There's nothing more deceptive in boxing than records. Trejo was 3-0, Bogar Padilla was 0-1, but matchmaking is so key. And honestly, just looking at these two, it really looks like Padilla, that is the more highly experienced seasoned prospect.
Trejo fought for the U.S. in the Ukraine. He was a highly touted amateur before he had shoulder surgery. Actually had a torn left bicep. But right now, this is probably the toughest fight he's had in a very long time. He actually hit the deck late in the first. And done with 3. What are you guys saying on Facebook? Javi Mendoza, Pedro Moreno, El Gallito, is that who you're looking for? He fights next. LaRon Mitchell, those of you guys checking in right now, back injury. He will be returning, as they said, maybe in June on a Thompson boxing card in Southern California. Tony Zavala. And this is our first fight. Coming up next, Pedro Moreno, Sergio Ramirez. Moreno representing Sacramento. Thomas Karstein, how you doing in Australia? Troy Williams wants to know about the next round, Steve.
Stay tuned for details.
Stay tuned. Follow Steve's Twitter, and also he has a good column, as always. Candyman Boxing in Whittier. What's going on, Candyman? Fourth and final round, and Brandon Trejo is deep behind.
Quite frankly, Beto, I think Trejo came here undefeated at 3-0. He needs a knockout to keep his unblemished record. It's really that simple.
Our unofficial scorer, Henry Ramirez, that's his new job tonight, has Padilla up by 4. No way they expected Bogar Padilla to be this tough.
You know, they probably wouldn't have taken him, but I remember Alex Campanova telling me last year after a particularly tough fight for one of his prospects, He says, Steve, we're not going to protect him. We're going to see early on if they could swim. And quite frankly, I think tonight Trejo's been drowning just a little bit since that first round. It's been a really, really harrowing experience for him.
And the Trejo boat is taking on water here in the fourth. More blood from the nose. He's trying to load up, but Padilla had that strong body, muscular for an 18-year-old.
Well, look, he's a little bit more fluid, a little bit looser in the hips, so he has good upper body movement. And again, he's a more fluid puncher, so he's able to consistently beat Trejo to the punch.
And land that left hook. And land the right. Double uppercut from Trejo.
You know, and I got to give Trejo some credit. He's been very, very game. He could have easily folded his 10 after that rough second round. He's had a few moments.
But it's only a 4-round card, so you better dig deep halfway through the final round.
Oh, good body shot again by Padilla.
Trejo's hurt. That body shot took a toll, Steve.
You know, Padilla's shown a real good IQ here. First of all, he set up his attack initially with right hands over the table. That set the table, okay? Then he comes downstairs and he basically folds Trejo a few times. Been a very, very intelligent overall offensive attack.
And Steve, I see your phone. There's managers calling you. Bogart Padilla might be opening up some eyes. Aparicio Boxing Club in Ensenada. You guys got a good one down there. 30 seconds to go in the fight. Bogart Padilla trying to finish off Brandon Trejo after dropping him late in the first.
Does Trejo have a miracle in his back pocket? Because I don't think he's won this fourth round either, and he's probably on his way to suffering his first professional defeat. It's been a really, really fight for him tonight.
Thompson boxing in Salinas in the 8-3-1. The fight card opens up with a heck of a good one. Two youngsters, but it was all Bogart Padilla. That'll do it. Woo-wee. Let's look at some replays.
Yeah, and we look at some of the action, and this was the story of the night. Bogart Padilla was able to breach the airspace of Trejo and really have his way on the inside after setting up the attack early on with right hands. And left hooks to the body. It was a two-fisted attack, high, low, left, right. And quite frankly, he just outworked Brandon Trejo and was the far more effective puncher. Beto, my scorecard, highly unofficial. I have it 40-35 Padilla.
Just like you do with Henry Ramirez, the trainer. I think he trained Chris Arreola, if I'm not mistaken.
Sometimes he did.
Yep. Sometimes you got to be elite, Steve. You got to be elite if you want to get into this game. Ryan Scalia, here's the scouting report on Bogart Padilla's opponent that he lost to in Tijuana. The guy that beat him was a national amateur champion and was taller by 6 inches in height. That's not the guy Padilla had signed up to fight. That's the guy who showed up at the scales.
You know, only Ryan Scalia would know all the details quite like that. That is why he is the king hipster.
And yes, for those of you guys saw my Twitter this afternoon, Steve Kim did crush 2 double-doubles, fries, and a shake before today's event.
I am doing extra cardio for the next 2 weeks, ladies and gentlemen.
No, that just tells you how much we had to prepare protein-wise for the kind of card we're going to have tonight.
Applause for both of these warriors. 4 fantastic rounds of boxing action in the books. And now to the judges' scorecards we go for the official decision. Susan Thomas Gatlin and Kermit Bayless both see the bout 39-36. While Marshall Walker sees it 38-37, declaring your winner by unanimous decision. Out of the red corner, Bogart El Cañonero Padilla.
El Ensenada, Mexico, Bogart Padilla. With Pedro Moran in his corner, gets his first professional victory. The judges had it closer than Facebook or Steve's unofficial cards, but regardless, Bogart Padilla gets the victory tonight and he is now 1-1.
You know, he's only 18 years old, Beto, and he's certainly put on a very strong, entertaining performance. This is the type of guy, I think he opened up some eyes, and maybe that of Alex Campanova. I'd like to see this guy again. He certainly seems to have some tools to work with.
Now, Ryan Scalia makes a good point. You guys want to follow Ryan. RIAN5CA. He's a journalist out of Canada. He knows everything about everybody's amateur record. 18 years old. Maybe get him the right training, conditioning-wise, and have him lose some weight. He's only 5'4". That could be very interesting. As Sonny Franco is ready to bring in our second fight.
Again, please welcome out of the red corner from Baja California, Tijuana, Mexico, here is Sergio El Phoenix Ramirez.
It's always good when the trainers come and tell you, I told you we were going to win.
His opponent out of the blue corner, the Zacualco de Torres, Jalisco, Mexico, here is Pedro El Gallito Moreno.
Now, that is not the San Diego chicken.
No.
That is the Salinas chicken. Wow.
That's not the fighter, though.
No, it's not.
Pedro Moreno, El Gallito. Coming in very, hey, you got to come in strong, man. You got to come in with some presence. El Gallito. Henry Ramirez, for you to know, it was 39-36 two times and 38-37 for Bogart Padilla over Brandon Trejo. Once again, elite, baby. That's what we got here for you. Sonny Franco in the ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again from the Storm House in Salinas, California, Thompson Boxing Promotions and Banner Promotions are proud to present the next bout of the evening, scheduled for 6 rounds of action in the 136-pound weight division. At ringside, your 3 judges scoring the bout, should it go the distance, are Susan Thomas Gatlin, Kermit Bayless, and Marshall Walker. And the man in charge of the action at the bell, your referee, Edward Goyantes. Fight fans, here we go. Introducing first, fighting under the red corner to my left. He steps to the ring tonight wearing the white trunks trimmed with gold. When he stepped onto the scale, he went officially at 134.8 already pounds. As a professional, his record stands 3 victories against 1 defeat. All 3 of his victories coming to you by way of KO. Ladies and gentlemen, damas y caballeros, de Baja California, Tijuana, Mexico, introducing Sergio El Phoenix Ramirez. And introducing his opponent, fighting across the ring out of the blue corner to my right. He stepped to the ring tonight wearing the white trunks with black and gold. When he stepped onto the scale, he weighed in officially at 136 pounds even. Tonight, he steps into the ring undefeated. 7 wins with 0 losses. 5 of those victories coming to you by way of KO. Ladies and gentlemen, from Sacramento, California, by way of Zacualco de Torres, Jalisco, Mexico, introducing Pedro El Gallito Moreno. Once again, your referee in charge, Edward Goyantes, give the final instructions.
colchón hasta atrás. I want you to protect yourself at all times and obey my commands at all times. For the hands indulgent, your rest can indulgent. Okay? These blows are below. Aquí está legal y aquí arriba legal. Okay? Choca guantes, fuerte.
And we're ready to go with Pedro Moreno, Sergio Felix, Steve.
And take a look at the tail of the tape. Pedro Moreno, just a kid at age 20, coming just above the lightweight limit. And Beto, we do mention Pedro Moreno, a recent signee to Thompson Boxing.
El Gallito. If you're going to come in with that much of a entrance, you better put up a show. We'll see what he's all about at Caballero Boxing in Sacramento. His opponent, Sergio Ramirez, 25 years old. Actually started training MMA when he was a kid. Got into boxing later on. He's fighting in the sport of boxing because he said there's better money than there is in MMA. Pedro Moreno, 20 years old, was actually born in Mexico, in Jalisco, came to the United States at the age of 5, spent a year here in Salinas, then moved to Sacramento, started boxing at the age of 12 because he wanted to defend himself. His parents said, no, we don't want you to box. He talked him into it. Here he is as a pro with a record of 7-0, 5 KOs. Our second bout of the night. Ramirez in the white and gold. That's what people watching us on the Facebook desde Tijuana. Y saludos a todos que están mirando en Tijuana. Box Revolution is where Ramirez trains out of. Phoenix is nickname.
Been a relatively subdued round number one for both Moreno and Ramirez, although Moreno's probably done the more effective work, landing several body shots to Ramirez early on here. Again, we are going 6 rounds, so these guys have to go at a relatively quick pace here, Beto. There's another good left hook to the body by Moreno.
Left hook for the Sacramento fighter. Pedro Moreno, El Gallito, trained by Marcus Caballero. And Caballero boxing, good body shot again. At the Storm House in Salinas, packed crowd, standing room only. Malachi Johnson, what's happening? Good to see you. Ramon Barraza Jr., saludos. Y al Phoenix Ramirez. Thompson Boxing website is where you want to go to check out everything Thompson Boxing related. And then you watch us on the Facebook. The Instagram is strong. Twitter is strong. And if you want to watch recaps of the fights or other Thompson Boxing shows, go to their YouTube page. Malachi Johnson, you're saying you spar with Pedro. He's been sparring with Xavier. What kind of guy is he? Inside the ring, Malachi? It's our first time seeing him. Give us your scouting report. Jonathan Miller watching us in Brooklyn, New York. Anytime you mention New York, Steve, of course, I'm going to bring up Jimmy's Corner to you.
The Mecca. I'll be there May 11th.
What are you doing there?
A lot of imbibing, but that'll be the weekend of the Vasil Lomachenko-Jorge Linares fight for the WBA lightweight title on ESPN. As of right now, I believe probably the best pure fight remaining on the boxing schedule for the first half of 2018.
And we'll get into Steve Kim's news and notes later on the broadcast. And I know all you guys want to know about a certain Mexican, Chavez Jr. Hey, we also got to see what Josecito Lopez is up to.
Oh, boy. No comment there, but you see, once again, Moreno, left hook to the body. That's been the most consistent thing of his attack, has been that left hook downstairs to Ramirez.
Couple jabs from Phoenix Ramirez. Samuel Rodríguez, puro Jalisco. Marco de la Cruz, saludos desde Mexicali. Puro Cachanilla power, como dicen, ¿verdad? Adomares Sanger, saludos también. Tira, 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 they're saying in the crowd. Throw, throw, throw. Yeah, we agree.
And you see the punching frame of Ramirez. Here in the notes, it says he started MMA at the age of 12 and switched to boxing at age 21. And you can really see the technique's not exactly textbook from Ramirez.
What do you say about MMA fighters, Steve?
They're very good at MMA. They're much better in an octagon than they are in a boxing ring.
All right, Malakai's boxing scouting report. He's warming up. He's a heavy body puncher. We're talking about Moreno. His left hook is awesome. He's working the body. All right, Malakai, you're saying, like I said, this is the first time we're seeing him. Recently signed to Thompson Boxing.
Early on, looking at Moreno, certainly looks like a work in progress. There's a lot of rough edges, but the things I do like, moves around the ring pretty well, attacks the body, seems to have a pretty good left hook downstairs. Still, he's going to need a lot of spit and polish. I don't see him as a young man or a developmental project where you can really put on the fast track.
You have to pick your opponents, right?
Right, especially given the fact, anytime you fight, I believe, from about 126 to about 154, that's probably where your best concentration of overall talent is in the sport. You're going to face all sorts of really good athletes from across the world, very, very different styles. And basically, the top levels of that sport, I think, are much better in terms of overall skill and technique than, let's say, at the lower weight classes or the heavyweights.
Ramiro Rocha Ruiz, you're in Watsonville. How come you're not here, man? I know that's not too far. Esteban Lopez, the Josecito Lopez, will be fighting soon. Actually, a good fight coming up later on this month. He used to fight for Thompson Boxing. Saludos a la familia González y Gutierrez también. Quickly, Steve, Regis Prograis against Ramirez. Will it happen at 140?
Oh, I think it has to. Jose Ramirez is the new WBC 140-pound champion now. By decree of the mandate, it is due, the mandatory. So Regis Prograis is pushing for that fight to happen immediately. I'm hearing that Ramirez is going to make his first title defense sometime in early July in Fresno.
No.
And it could be against Prograis, and I think that is a real fight. In fact, I would make Prograis a slight favorite in that matchup.
So you're going to Fresno, huh? You going to the 559?
You know, that is actually on my bucket list. I think that Rick Morizian has done a fantastic job of really marketing Jose Ramirez into that Central Valley. A legitimate draw, absolutely.
Third round of action. See if Pedro Moreno steps it up like his buddy Malakai said he will. Out of the Caballero Boxing Gym. Recently signed by Thompson Boxing Promotions, who will be going to Sacramento at the end of June. So go to the Thompson Boxing website, check it out, and check out the schedule. Nice shots.
When I spoke about Pedro Moreno needing a lot of seasoning before you really step him up, his last bout was August of 2017 where he stopped Curtis Morton in 3. So I wouldn't say there's ring rust, but I do think in the future, as he is signed to deal with Thompson Boxing, he'll be much more active on a regular basis from this point forward.
He was hit a couple times by Phoenix Ramirez. Moreno said, yeah, let's go. Bring it. Andrew Alce watching. Bruno Escalante will be coming up later on tonight. He's the co-main. Takes on Mexican Dio Olguin and Mahalo out in Waimanalo. You got the Derby? Six fights total. This is our second one of the night here at the Storm House in Salinas. Over 140,000 people live in this city, according to the Wikipedia. Did do research, because Steve, sometimes you got to go do some show prep. Salinas about an hour south of San Jose. Man.
And we're going to be back here on a regular basis. That seems to be the game plan from Thompson Boxing. Should Ruben Villa continue his winning ways, the goal here is to really develop him into a local attraction.
LaRon Mitchell is watching. LaRon, everybody wants to know when you're fighting, so you guys have questions from LaRon, ask him. He knows what's up. Our teacher out of San Francisco who injured his back, the heavyweight. We'll be seeing him soon. Another good round for Moreno. Coming up after this fight will be Alberto Torres, Nasif Martinez, Max Becerra, Eric Martinez, Bruno Escalante, the Aloha Kid, Olguin in the main event, Ruben Villa the fourth against Marlon Olea. Salinas, salad bowl of the world. The agriculture in this area is known for. John Steinbeck, East of Eden, Grapes of Wrath was written here. LaRon Mitchell is answering you people. Hopefully June 30th in Sacramento he is fighting. Fourth round of action. Malachi Johnson, how are you guys scoring it so far? Pedro not throwing as much as usual. You're right?
No, he's not. But, you know, I certainly think he's landed the more effective blows and probably most of them. I have it 30-27 halfway through. The thing I'd like to see from Moreno is more of a well-rounded attack. We know we can attack the body, but he's going to really have to work on setting up the jab and developing a right hand over the top.
But I'm going to be completely honest here. It's not my opinion, my job to give opinions, but when Thompson Boxing signed you, sends a press release out about you, we get a lot of extensive notes about you, and people are telling me this kid could be something. You expect somebody to come out in the first two rounds and put on a show.
Yeah, but you know what? Keep this in mind. There isn't always one easy roadmap. The way you would develop, let's say, a Tim Bradley who came up under the system will be different than, let's say, a Danny Roman, who's also the latest world champion. There are certain fighters, it's like in any other sport. Certain players as freshmen are ready to be All-Americans. Other ones need to be redshirted. But now you see why they may have signed Moreno.
Okay.
He's a fan-friendly guy. There's a lot of rough edges, but this happens.
I'll take this as he switches southpaw. Landing some bombs. Ramirez absorbing some. The MMA fighter's got a beard, huh? Keeping his hands up. There's the Tijuanero Ramirez in white and gold.
And Beto, we've spoken about the Thompson Boxing roster of young prospects. I believe their top four guys match up with any in boxing. Sal Sanchez, Ruben Torres, Michael Dutchover, and the young man we're going to see tonight. You know, those kids will all go different paths in terms of how fast they're going to go. Not all of them will be still put on the fast track, given the fact they're very young.
Wild swing and missing from Moreno with less than a minute to go.
And Moreno is only 20 years old, so there really is no rush on this.
And as we know this, speaking with Alex Campanovo, matchmaker, general manager Thompson, they'll sign you, but they're going to test you also. Yeah. There are no kid gloves
Well,
here.
Let's just put it this way. They're not feeding you Gerbers, okay? They're taking you off the Similac very easy.
As Brandon Trejo found out in our opening bout, he was 3-0, touted, lost. Ruben Cuellar's coming in with his All capital letters. Easy, Ruben. Take the caps lock off, bro. And hello to you too, Ruben. You're watching Pedro Moreno, Sergio Ramirez. 4th round, the Stormhouse in Salinas. The main event tonight, Ruben Villa the 4th, Marlon Olea. Shot landed by Moreno. Coming up next, Alberto Torres, Nasif Martinez. Martinez with a strong veteran record, 17-10. Torres, El Chivo, the GOAT, 10-1.
Yeah, and here's a shout out from Gustavo Rodriguez on Twitter. It's a shout out from Yuma, Arizona, from Gus and the fam for Ruben Villa.
Yuma, Arizona, a place I got turned down for 3 different TV jobs.
They're lost, Beto. In fact, you got lucky. You got lucky there.
I never get hired for any TV jobs I applied to, not 22 of them. But it's all right, though. You take a path, everybody has a different path, just like you're talking about that, Steve. Some guys come in with the path, and they're knocking people out the first 10. Pedro Moreno, laboring, working hard here tonight.
Well, in round number 4, we saw a more aggressive Sergio Ramirez. That made Moreno open up, and we got some of the more entertaining moments of this bout. Let's see how he handles the heat here. One thing that Ramirez has shown, Beto, he's a pretty durable guy. Certainly not flimsy in there.
Paul Edmond, what's happening? Miguel Dumas echándole a porra a Phoenix. Paul Edmond, a big fan of Steve Kim's commentary. Hey, he lived in Yuma for 5 years. I had no problem with Yuma. I wanted to go there. They didn't want me. As did Eureka and Ukiah and Medford, Oregon. And Oscar Mora III watching right now at a kid's birthday party. He has hooked up the Facebook Live at the kid's birthday party. What's up, Oscar Mora? You live here in Salinas. I try to get you tickets, but you want to go be a responsible dad.
Yeah, thank you for having the right priorities, sort of.
Yeah, the party with the red cups. Main event tonight, Ruben Villa the 4th, Marlon Olea coming up later, but right now, Pedro Moreno in the white and green. Getting a good test from Sergio Ramirez. Phoenix with a record of 3-1. Ramirez, 3 KOs though.
Yeah, we saw Ramirez a couple of months ago, February 16th, on our 2018 debut, went 4 rounds with Zora Hamazarian. So there's one thing, if you're going to book Ramirez as the B-side here to a young prospect, you're going to get some rounds. That much is guaranteed.
And Phoenix brings a good crowd to the Facebook. That's always appreciated. Good combinations there by Pedro Moreno, El Gallito. This one's scheduled for 6.
Hasn't been a bad round for Ramirez. He's the one coming forward, knocking Moreno on his back foot, making him use some lateral movement and throwing it in the reverse gear. These are the things you need to find out about young fighters. But again, with Moreno, he might be a prospect, but I do see one that's going to take some time to really develop. You know, Beto, there are certain kids that you look at and you say early on, within 18 to 24 months, you say this guy could probably be a contender. You know, but other guys, it literally does take 5, 6, 7 years. It is a process.
the fighters on this is the 6th and final round.
6th and final round with Pedro Moreno, El Gallito, born in Jalisco, now from Sacramento. He's 20 years old and white and green. Sergio Ramirez, El Phoenix, El Tijuanero. At a Box Revolution gym in Tijuas.
Oh, by the way, off Twitter, King Money Danish writes, in between UFC bouts while watching Thompson Boxing Facebook stream, I've heard Durant Sports talk about being rejected 3 times from jobs in Yuma, Arizona. And Steve UCN Live copped to eating 2 double-doubles from In-N-Out. I present to you our heroes. Thank you, King Money. Thank you. Thank you.
King Money, you forgot I also got rejected by Ukiah, Eureka, Medford, Oregon, and there's a couple in like up Washington. But it's all right though. Y Gabriel Campos, saludos.
You know what you are? You're the Orlando Salido of television. You took some early losses. You started off young, took some hits. You know what? Look where Orlando Salido ended up.
And look where Pedro Moreno's trying to do here in the 6th round. Finally letting his hands go. Trying to load up with a big bomb. As we learned with Sergio Phoenix, this dude can take a punch.
Yeah. Well, Ramirez has asked some questions of Moreno, and Moreno may have had the perception coming into this bout that a few body shots and Ramirez is going to fold like a card table. That certainly has not happened. In the second half of the fight, Ramirez has actually had some moments. It's opened up the fight a little bit.
Tim Jenkins, shout out from Sydney, Australia. Kim, love your work. You and Dougie Fisher.
Good day, mate. Have a Foster's on us.
Malachi Johnson, who works with Pedro Moreno, says he is a good signing. He just looks a little bit sluggish today. Maybe he had a bad weight cut. We do have him winning, though. A weight cut, that could always affect the fighter, too.
He is winning. Listen, we're not saying that he's on the danger of losing. I have him up comfortably in this fight. But when you judge a prospect, it's not sometimes if you win. You're going to be engineered and match-made to win. It is, do you show good technique and fundamental grounding? And I see a lot of loose shoestrings that need to be tied up with Moreno tonight.
And one of the other things, too, is when you win, how do you win?
Right, that is absolutely important.
How do you gain fans by putting on a show? And you want people talking about you. You want to be trending. You want to be on the swing.
And the other thing that I noticed about Moreno, good left hook to the body. He's got to really be a little bit lighter on his feet. And I think footwork and balance is something that his staff is really going to have to harp on. Just being able to twist and turn with his punches. And again, being lighter on his feet in general.
Jim Boone Tickets checking in from the 702.
Our man.
If you ever need a ticket for anything, Jim Boone, KO Tickets on Twitter is your guy. They go the distance, 6 good rounds, and quality work for Pedro Moreno. Main event tonight will be Ruben Villa, Marlon Olea. Barbosa Box, como siempre, saludos a usted. Box analyst at Zona ESPN. Barbosa Box, an excellent follow on Twitter. His location, ringside, state of mind. ¿Qué más quiere con ese? Michael Shepard, I'm eating a double-double. If it's good enough for Steve Kim, it's good enough for me.
Yeah. It was so good I had 2.
Gennaro Doria, what up, what's up, fellas? Henry Ramirez, El Boxing Burro. How you doing? Rico Martinez, what's up from Texas? And Thompson Boxing will be going to Texas Midland sometime this summer with Michael Dutchover.
Oh, also on Twitter, at Barbosa Box has joined us.
Yeah.
Hola.
Oh. And as always, Salvador Carrillo, Mr. Boxing Guru, doing a great job as the Tío El Padrino, watching with his nephew Adrian. Guru just got back from Tijuana at a Kawama. And make sure you guys watch the Boxing Rundown from Legends Boxing in Norwalk.
I will be on there Monday.
No, you're not.
Yes, I will.
Oh, okay.
That is must-watch.
All right.
That is a must-watch
All right,
stream
Guru,
right there.
that's cool. All the stuff you say about Kim, and then all of a sudden you invite him on your show.
What was he saying? What
and
happened?
Sonny Franco is inside the ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 6 exciting rounds of boxing action to the judges' scorecards, we go for the official decision. Both Suzanne Thomas Gatlin and Marshall Walker both see about the same, 60 to 54. While Kermit Bayless sees about 59 to 55 in favor of your winner by unanimous decision, and still undefeated from Zacualco de Torres, Jalisco, Mexico, Pedro, El Gallito Moreno.
Pedro Moreno gets his 8th victory as a pro and his first one of the Thompson Boxing banner. Congratulations to El Gallito, and thanks to everybody that's watching us in Sacramento. Appreciate you guys. Don't go anywhere, though. Alberto Torres and Nasif Martinez coming up next. The main event, Ruben Villa IV, Marlon Olea. Troy Williams, Thompson Boxing streams are top-notch. Compliment to the IT people. We don't have IT people. We got IT stars, baby. Tony Cubillo, Steve, and Kim, both of you guys. It's Frank from San Fernando Valley here.
Órale.
Manuel Patillo, saludos at Phoenix Box Revolution. Johnny Gonzalez checking in from Waco. Go Bears. Richard Zavala checking in right now. Srini Cervantes, gívelo. And Artie Palulo will be joining us.
Yes. Mr. Banner Promotions himself.
We need some real talent as the one and only Artie Palulo. Well, Artie.
Oh, what a long night that was last night, Artie. Oh.
I don't know what you're talking about. I was in bed at 9:30.
Artie Palulo. What is your official title, Mr. Palulo?
Bottle washer. I sweep the floors.
Does it all.
Yes, I do it all.
Banner,
Outside of that, my daughter and Matt run the company.
Banner Promotions. You guys have tonight Ruben Villa the fourth as our main event. How did you find this kid?
I got lucky. We have a good relationship with Danny Samora. Danny is the manager of Peter Petrov. Alex and Danny and Ken have been doing business for years. And when the opportunity came up to sit down with Ruben, we met in L.A. At one of the local hotels near the airport, and we talked about a deal. We talked to his father, and Danny was the one who actually was the catalyst for us to put a deal together for him, because everybody wanted. Bob's company wanted him.
Yeah.
Golden Boys people were talking about him, and we just hit it off. The kid was a nice kid, and he was telling me about he was just going to the senior prom, and but he had to go back to the gym after prom. So that has a lot to do with it. The kind of kids that really dedicate their lives, and I was very interested in signing them.
Yeah, and you also have a co-promotional agreement with Thompson Boxing with Michael Dutchover, another young prospect. Artie, describe.
Diamond in the rough.
Yeah, when did you guys say, we're going to start building this kid locally? It's one thing to get him fights, but we need to go local.
Well, we decided that before we signed him, because the plan was that Kenny runs all these beautiful shows, and it's important to build him over there and then to bring him here. Mm-hmm. We got him this 10 wins. We brought him on Showbox and some other networks, and he was on undercards of other fights. And now it's time for him, after 10 fights, to come here in his hometown. And we believe that we'll do another one before the end of the summer or the first part of September, maybe in an outdoor arena.
Really? So tonight, close to 1,000 people are in this venue. It's a softball venue with artificial turf, and just walking in here, people say, hey, there's a football stadium next door with 5,000 people. Like,
I know. Listen, last night when we were out to dinner, the people at the dinner, if you remember, said, are you guys here for the fight?
Yeah, they did.
Everybody knows Ruben.
Artie, a lot of things going on with Banner Promotions. What is the latest you could tell us about the mercurial Demetrius Andrade?
Demetrius Andrade, as you know, the biggest problem he has, he's one of the best fighters in the world. Right now, we're talking to Peter Nelson to get him on one of the HBO events, either May the 12th or May the 26th. And we're talking to them right now about which opponents would be acceptable. Mm-hmm. And I understand why Gennady didn't want to fight him. I mean, it's a very difficult fight. Two-time world champion, he's undefeated, Olympian. It's very difficult to beat. And, he doesn't want to fight a guy like that. He wants to figure out what's going on with Canelo. But it was my job to try to push it for him. Got a lot of good PR for the kid. But at the end of the day, Tom Lofter comes out, there's no way he's fighting a southpaw.
Well, speaking of which, do you believe that there's a chance if the IBF does strip Gennady Golovkin of his title, that it'll be your guy and Derevchenko for the vacant IBF?
Right now, Demetrius is the #1 contender and will be the mandatory in the WBO for Saunders. If they strip Gennady Golovkin, we are the highest available. That we would be the mandatory for Dermonchenko as well. So that's a fight HBO and no would buy. At least I think I know they would buy.
Artie Palulo, the legendary Bandit Promotions. Thank you. Go enjoy yourself. And here's a public service announcement for you guys. Always carry matches.
Yes.
And McAllen, a 12-year, right?
You got me in trouble with my wife
Yeah,
because
Beto.
you tweeted
Beto.
that we were at In-N-Out, and I'm on a diet. And my wife said to me, I thought you were on a diet. I said, I was, honey, but it was just for one night. I went to In-N-Out Burger.
I've never seen you at In-N-Out, Artie. I don't even.
Hey, Beto, no snitching. No snitching.
No snitching. And
My baby says to me, you lost all that weight, and you're an In-N-Out Burger. I said, I couldn't resist, Barbie.
protein burger, protein
Yeah.
style. Artie, thank you very much. As always, appreciate
Thanks,
you
guys.
guys.
Thanks a lot.
Main
Thank
event
you.
tonight, Ruben Villa the 4th will be coming up, promoted by Bandit Promotions and Thompson. And I didn't stitch out Artie Palulo. But now I'm scared. Now I am scared because, man, you know that you sleep with the fishes.
Oh, why, Beto? You've been warned.
I've been warned. Let me check out everybody out on the Facebook. Let's see what's going on. Nancy Rodriguez watching from Chuck E. Cheese with the kids. There you go. Jesus Rubalcaba watching at home with your dad in Salinas.
Hey, there's always good fights at Chuck E. Cheese also.
Oh, heck yeah. Ozzy Alanis, Whittier, Uptown Whittier, where the girls are prettier, they tell me. Sarah Larson watching in Santa Fe Springs tonight. Sonny Franco's our ring announcer. Is Sonny ready to go with our next fight? Sonny Franco's ready to go.
Here we go, fight fans. Let's get the action going once again. Please welcome out of the red corner from the Cozumel, Quintana Roo, Mexico, Jerez, Nasif Chatito Castillo.
Ay. This guy coming in with a mascara. All right. Got the wrestling match. We've had a chicken, and now we got wrestlers. Hey, you know what? If you're going to be on the Thompson Facebook party, you better come in with some style, yo. That's what you got to come in with. Puro estilo.
Blue corner from Sacramento, California, Jerez, Alberto El Chivo Torres.
El Chivo.
En esa casita donde creció, un café caliente al lado de una hornilla con queso y frijoles, así creció.
There it is, our bout coming up. Alberto Torres, Nasif Martinez. Sonny Franco ready to bring them together.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again from the Storm House in Salinas, California, Thompson Boxing Promotions and Banner Promotions are proud to present the next bout of the evening, scheduled for 6 rounds of action in the 127-pound weight division. At ringside, your 3 judges scoring the bout should it go the distance. Suzanne Thomas Gatlin, Kermit Bayless, and Marshall Walker. And the man in charge of the action at the bell, your referee, Dan Snell. Fight fans, here we go. Introducing first, fighting across the ring out of the red corner to my left. He stepped to the ring tonight wearing the white trunks trimmed with the colors of Mexico. When he stepped onto the scale, he went officially at 126 pounds even. As a professional, his record stands 17 victories against 10 defeats with 2 bouts even. 5 of his victories coming to you by way of KO. Ladies and gentlemen, damas y caballeros, de Cozumel, Quintana Roo, Mexico, introducing Nasif Chatito Castillo. Castillo. And introducing his opponent, fighting across the ring out of the blue corner to my right. He steps in the ring tonight wearing the black trunks with the colors of Mexico and the US of A. When he stepped onto the scale, he went officially at 126.9 ready pounds. As a professional, he has 13 fights to his credit, including 10 victories against 1 defeat with 2 bouts even. 4 of his victories come to you by way of KO. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing from Sacramento, California, here is Alberto El Chivo Torres. Once again, your referee, Dan Stell, to give the final instructions.
Hip line, gentlemen, right here, okay? High, belts are a little high. Listen, obey my commands at all times. Protect yourself at all times. Touch gloves, come out the belt, collect the both of you.
And keep the comments coming on Facebook that tell the tape, Steve Kim.
Yes, both guys are veterans here. Nassif Castillo, at 31 years old, has won 4 out of his last 5 bouts.
Just make a comment, we let you go. Danny Zamora's sons, Benny and Sammy, watching in Santa Fe Springs. Hello to you guys. Also Lisa, their mother. And I think Benny had a basketball game yesterday. Rio Nakata, thanks for watching. Mikey Russell, Brandon Trejo lost on the first fight of the night. Gary Sestida watching in Waco, Texas. Mark Abrams loved our talk with Artie Palulo. He's the best, seriously. Charles Buscat, Hard Knocks Boxing Club. Alexis is watching us also. Patricia Simon, Vamos Nassif. Nassif Martinez, the veteran. Chato Castillo's his nickname, with the white trunks. Ovi Sandoval watching us in the corner of Hector Tanahara in San Antonio, Texas. Troy Williams, always the walkout songs are great drinking songs, man. Efren Lopez, the purple mask. El Fantasma walked in with Chato Castillo. Lamont Roach Jr., who fights on ESPN April 19th in Puerto Rico. No Excuses Boxing in the district. I'm only here for Bethel, Steve, and Ruben.
Oh, Lamont Roach, I was at his last fight out there at the MGM National Harbor, had a very sharp performance. I look for him to make a move in 2018 to really become a bona fide young contender.
Dana Jones watching in Cameron, North Carolina. Go Duke for me. Juan Garduno, Vamos Chato. Shout out La Esperanza Mariscos in Watson. Tony Treen watching in Las Vegas. Felix Ramirez. And Steve Tabar is watching in Michigan. Those are the Facebook shout-outs. We'll keep them all coming. 6 rounds scheduled. It's our 3rd bout of the night. And if you got a shout-out, please share. Let people know where you're at on a Saturday night.
Most of round number 1 has seen Castillo kind of circle the ring. Torres in pursuit steadily. Very methodical out there. It's been a relatively even round number 1. Speaking of Torres, his last bout is a split decision in 8 rounds against Eric Atuarte, a young man we've seen several times out there in Corona.
Illustrious Big B in Minnesota watching because he's stuck in a foot of snow. And as always, Steve, our security blanket here.
Linus got thrown off by the early start time on Saturday, but welcome aboard, Linus.
And also 956 boxing coach
James Gogi.
Yeah. Boomer Sooner for you. Go follow him on Twitter. James Gogi, G-O-G-U-E. Always gives good commentary. Good history lessons, too. Especially he talks with Don Shargan back in the day. First round of the books. Watching in Baltimore, home of Tank Davis. Tom Olvera watching in Kingsville, Texas. Jonathan Soto, Fort Myers, Florida. Jim Boone tickets, I kid you not, this isn't a plug, But just go follow KO Tickets. Get his number. If you ever need a ticket to anything, Jim Boone Tickets is your man. What do you got on your phone, Steve?
Yeah, and on Twitter, the illustrious Big B says, I'm stuck in my house due to the damn foot of snow.
Yep.
But he's watching the fights. Thank you very much.
John Kennedy watching in Memphis. Ruben Villa, people coming strong. He is the main event later on the night. Chumar Gomez, Denver, Colorado. Leonardo Alvarez, Merced, Harold Bros Boxing. Beto, what a great name. Beto Chavez Sanchez in the state of Washington. Hashtag Team Mikey Garcia. Luke from San Diego. Jaime Cantu enjoying the fights. Joshua Carlobos from the PI. Kumusta. He's watching. You're going to actually have Filipino Bruno Escalante coming up in 2 fights. And the main event tonight, Ruben Villa the 4th coming up later. Right now you're watching Alberto Torres in the black, El Chivo, El Zurdo. With Nasim Martinez, Chato Castillo in the white. I got to get those trunks, Steve. The black ones. I got to take those home, man. They have Beto on the belt. I got to get those. Right? London, Ontario, Canada. Boyardo Estrada watching us. Trenton, New Jersey, the 831. Stockton. Love you guys checking in. We do it because you guys interact with us and we keep going. Beto Duran, Steve Kim, the entire Thompson boxing crew. This is our 3rd bout. We got 6 coming your way.
Been a bit of tit for tat here in round number 2. Both men having their moments, but again, Castillo circling the ring. Torres is the one coming forward. Can't say either guy, as you see Castillo kind of tripping to the canvas, has really created that much of an advantage for themselves early on here.
Pressure!
Cornwall, Ontario, Leyland Phillips checking in. South Lake Taco, Misael Sanchez. Man, Mr. Thompson's going to have to put some new businesses out there. Caballero Boxing Gym, represented by Albert Torres in the black. Boricua checking in, JB Figueroa, San Germán, Puerto Rico. Steve, you say Puerto Rico, you say
Huepa!
There it is. Edinburgh, Texas, Centenario Sarazua watching. They used to have the Roadrunners baseball team down there. J-Man, you don't need boxing on TV when you got the Thompson Boxing Facebook party coming your way. Good action here, pick it up in a second.
Yeah, it's a close round. Castillo pretty effective hitting and moving. But it has been Torres coming forward, though. But if you're his corner, you probably want him to do a little bit more as he gets in position to actually get his hands moving. See, right there, he gets there, and he gets tied up there by Castillo.
Steve, our man, Oscar Mora, who was at that kid's birthday party, said he left because he wanted to watch the fights in peace.
You know what? Attaboy. Attaboy.
Konnichiwa in Funabashi, Chiba, Japan.
Bonsai!
Ramadas Magallanes watching us. Juan Cepeda watching us, Indio. Nancy does point out later on the fights are on BN Sports with my man Andres Bermudez.
Oh, and Francisco Salazar, various boxing publications like Fight News and Ring TV says, I was ringside in Oxnard 2014 when Albert Torres and Daniel Franco went at it for 6 rounds that ended in a draw.
Interesting effort. And Salazar also threw live BP to his baseball team today.
He did.
Go get those Modelos and ice.
Yeah.
A lot.
Looking like young Ron Perinoski pitching BP there. That's an old 80s Dodgers reference there.
Benny Casterhone watching in Salina, or actually in Corpus Christi, the home of Salina. And we're in Salinas, so that means I got to say anything for Salinas. And actually tomorrow in the city, they're going to have a Salina festival honoring her birthday. We're here in the 3rd. Jesus Rubalcaba watching with your dad. And the Mexipino kid, we've actually seen him here on Thompson Boxing, trained by Henry Ramirez. watching us, Miguel Flores. This is the third round of action.
Torres has been in pursuit. Let's see if he can do a little bit more in terms of getting his hands moving as he gets inside. I think he's actually been outworked just by a smidge. I have him down 20 to 18 to Castillo. Remember, 6-round bout. You don't have all day here.
Torres actually grew up on a dairy farm in Sacramento. They had the heavy bag, a speed bag on that farm. 8 kids total in his family. Started boxing at the age of 18, father of 3. Cozumel, southern part of Mexico, is where Chatito is from. He's in the white. Pedro Moreno won his fight. Lalo Garcia, unanimous decision. Paco Saldana in Illinois.
Real subtle shift here. It seems to me Torres is now letting his hands go a little bit more freely, doing a pretty nice job of just catching, countering, and then shooting. Seems to have a pretty good beat on the hand speed and exactly where those punches from Castillo are coming now.
Torres out of the Caballero Boxing Club in Sacramento. Moving around. A little showmanship inside that ring from Torres. Rodeo Cabillo watching in the Philippines.
Mabuhay.
Charlotte, Florida. What's happening?
Good counter left there by Torres, catching Castillo coming inside. He seems to be a little bit more comfortable offensively here in round number 3.
Yep, easily his best round for Torres in the black. Good solid left hook.
Like that was a double left hand. It was an uppercut and then he turned it over into a cross.
Chato in the white, only 5 KOs. Not known for his punching power, but he's that guy that just gets there and smothers you and bugs you. Keyshawn from Picayune, Mississippi. What's happening? Kevin Carpenter watching from the dairy farm. All right. Pio Valenzuela, saludos desde Cozumel. It's really crazy how people just watch this all over the world right now. Like, I mean.
Oh, and by the way, Linus just dated himself. He says Ron Pernoski is from the Walter Alston era Dodgers. I think I only know this because I had his baseball card. I'd say 72 or 73.
Wait, Pernoski was the pitching coach for the Dodgers, right?
Yes, during the 80s.
So he was the pitching coach for the Dodgers, and then
the Giants later on.
And then Joey Amalfitano was the third
base coach.
Oh, okay.
No one could wave him in like Joey. Nobody.
San Pedro roots for Joey Amalfitano. Ivan Arroyo, Drago, 1589. I will pay nothing for trunks with my name on it. But if he wins, then I'll pay. Linda Perkins watching in Ohio. Lauren Ramos watching from Coachella. Fourth round of action. Roberto Torres, Ramirez. Mario Jimenez, you're in the library. I see you.
And Beto, I have a 2-1 Castillo. I had him winning the first 2 rounds close. Round 3, I believe Torres was the more effective guy. Starting to close ground, starting to smother him just a little bit. Question is, can he create enough offense against the slippery, tricky Castillo?
Coming up after this one, Max Becerra, Eric Martinez, and then Bruno Escalante, Olguin. In the main event, Ruben Villa the 4th, Marlon Olea. Watching us in Nayarit and Chihuahua. We got Mexico on lock, Steve, as the fighter with Mexican roots, Alberto Torres, in the black, trying to pick it up here in the 4th round. Good right hand. Has them in the corner.
Oh,
clash
like
of heads.
Clash of heads there, yeah.
With two southpaws smacking their heads. With the Stormhouse in Salinas, standing room only. Good snapping jab from Chato, or Chatito. And you hear, he's from Sacramento, is Torres, about 2 hours away. Has some good fans here. Trying to urge on their fighter. Right hand, left hand. Good movement from Beto Torres. 17-10-2 is the fighter in the white. 10-1-2 is Torres in the black. Patricia Simon cheering on Chato in New York. Luis Becerra is saying that Max Becerra always puts on a show. Tune in. All right, people, don't go anywhere. He's from Santa Ana. He's up next. Luis, if he doesn't put on a show, man,
It's on him.
it's on you. It's your fault. Chris Henderson, we immediately both grab our phones to tweet, man.
Beto, 2 rounds to go. I have it 2-2. I gave Torres the 4th. Again, all these rounds have been really, really tight, except maybe the 3rd. Let's see who can impose their will here. Torres gets inside. You just wonder, though, should he be a little bit more active and begin to bang the body a little bit? Problem is, he's getting tied up a lot. Every time he gets close, Castillo does a real nice job of just tactically stopping that momentum by grabbing him on the inside.
Steve Kim's unofficial scorecard has him a 2.
And you see what happened right there. 2 power shots from Torres that were missed over the top. Sometimes you just want to touch a guy just to begin the combination.
Just let him know you're there, huh?
Let him know you're there. And also, when you touch a guy, it's much easier to keep your balance offensively.
Got 126 pounders going at it right now. Shot by Torres. Ciudad Guzman checking in, Mexico. Central Utah, Yessi Gonzalez checking in. What? You're watching Torres and Martinez.
Torres, again, missing a lot of shots over the top. But see, when he starts his combinations from the chest down, he's able to at least make a little contact, make it really uncomfortable for Castillo. Castillo has a nice job of really slipping and rolling with punches.
Yeah, pace is slow down. These two. Torres lands that quick left. Chatito answers back with the left of his own. Body shot from Beto Torres. Torres worked for a window cleaning company in Sacramento. Give him a chance to come out here and work inside the ring. Evenly matched fight. And evenly matched action.
a good way to put it, Beto. I don't think there's a lot that separates these two. It'll be very interesting to see how the official arbiters really view this bout. Again, even in round number 5, both men having moments. Neither guy has really completely taken over this fight.
They shake hands after 5, but there's still one more to go. My brother, the principal at Maces High in Maywood, Gabriel Duran, watching in his man cave in the garage. And coming up next, Max Becerra. That's what Luis Becerra, you said he's going to put on a show, man. We have it recorded. And on Facebook, everybody's going to come back if he doesn't put on a show. I'm just messing with you now. Max Becerra, El General, the record of 13-2. He always comes to fight. That'll be coming up next. Miguel the Beast Estrada. He's a 12-year-old with 19 amateur fights. He's watching this right now. Keep dreaming big, Beast. Keep working hard. And follow your dreams, man. You know, maybe one day Steve Kim can write an article about you. 6th and final round between Alberto Torres and Nasif Martinez. The Philippines coming strong, man. What time is it in the Philippines that everybody's watching us now? Dexter Tan watching us in General Santos, Philippines.
Big news this weekend. Freddie Roach and Manny Pacquiao are no longer. All good things must come to an end, and quite frankly, it was something I think Freddie was expecting the last couple of months, but it was made official yesterday. So as Manny Pacquiao embarks on his fight against the Machine, Lucas Matisse in July, he'll have Boo Boy Fernandez as his head trainer.
Really? That's interesting. Kevin Carpenter, thank you for the correction. Torres is a union carpenter, local 46, installing commercial blinds for Rico's. Not a window cleaner. Got you.
I think this fight is hanging in the balance. It's probably 3-2 either way. This is a very close fight. I could easily see this becoming a draw. It's been a very difficult fight to score. Neither man really imposing their will on one another, but certainly having some moments here and there.
You hear the fans urging on Torres. Driving the 2 hours south. Also for Sacramento, you had Pedro Moreno winning earlier at the Caballero Boxing Gym. Now let's see if they can go 2-0 with Alberto Torres, El Chivo. Same nickname as his dad. That's a good shot. Carlos Vasquez in Nicaragua. Watching, appreciate that. Saludos, Carlos. Good right hand landed by Torres. Could that be enough to take it away? Juan de la Cruz, I agree with you, man. That's exactly who's going to win. 30 seconds to go in the fight. See who can step it up. Try to take this round. Strong shot landed by Beto Torres. Chatito answers with one. 10 seconds to go in the 6th and final round. And that'll do it. They go the distance. Not my Richie! La Bamba jamming in Salinas. Oh, man, Bob was wrong, man. The way they treated Bob, like it was always his fault. He was a misunderstood soul. Bob took his family out of the farms. He took them to the city. Remember, he showed up. He just wanted the best for his family. Put Rosie on the back of the bike and took off. You're the one with all the money, Steve Kim. How do you have this one in your
Well,
very unofficial card?
I gave the 6th round to Alberto Torres, and that makes it a dead even draw, 57-57. Him and Castillo were very tight throughout, and quite frankly, I don't think either guy truly separated themselves.
Yep. People have 4 rounds of 2 for Torres. One other person has hit 4-2 for Martinez. Obviously, those people are pretty usually related. They know them. It was a good fight, good evenly matched fight. Juan Antonio Tena out in Arizona. Why are you late to the fight, man? Come on. Got your brother-in-law in town. Give him the Thompson boxing exposure. Shout out to Andy. Andy, what's happening? Appreciate you watching us, and make this a normal part of your routine. There's El Fantasma. 10:30 in the morning in the Philippines. Francisco Salazar lets us know. Sorry, the history teacher and me had to let you know. May Ruiz, saludos de Cancún, Mexico. You're right, Juan. Bruno Escalante, the Aloha Kid, comes up in 2 fights. Next up will be Max Becerra, Eric Martinez. Kenny De Leon, República Dominicana. So we got Puerto Rico, we got the Dominican, we got Nicaragua, we got Australia, we got the Philippines. Steve, we need somebody from your people, man. We need somebody from your
South
country.
Korea,
No,
Seoul,
Montebello.
Montebello, 323, yes.
The Mexican. Wait, what's your name on Twitter right now?
Salinas Kim.
Salinas Kim. Sonny ready to go. Guatemala in the house. So we're getting most of Central America as Sonny Franco's inside the ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 6 exciting rounds of boxing action, to the judges' scorecards we go. Suzanne Thomas Gitlin sees it 58-56. While Kermit Bayless and Marshall Walker both see the bout 57-57, declaring this bout a unanimous draw.
And Beto, you hear the restlessness of the audience. They're not happy with the draw, but quite frankly, I think it was a very just decision. I don't think either guy really won this fight or lost it.
So unanimous draw, 58-56 by Susan Gatling, Kermit Bayless, Marshall Walker, 57-57. Coming up next, Max Becerra, Eric Martinez. Beth Durant, Steve Kim, and you, and they're bringing a chair, so that means we have a guest. All right, so coming up next will be Max Becerra, Eric Martinez, and then we're going to find the man who's the reason we're here. Ken Thompson will be coming up with us. Stick with us. You're watching Thompson Boxing live on Facebook. Welcome back to Salinas, California. Beth Durant, Steve Kim, and the man who, reason we're here, the owner of Thompson Boxing Promotions, Mr. Ken Thompson. You're taking your shows on the road, Kenny. How excited is it to be here? Oh, sorry about that. There we go. you're taking them on the road. It feels good to be here, isn't it?
It's fabulous. This is a great venue, and Salinas has welcomed us big time. We're really happy.
And Ken, I understand we're going to be here a lot in the next few years. You have to be excited about the future of Ruben Villa.
Well, we think he's a future champion very soon. Wow. He's probably one of the most popular young fighters in the world today. Everybody that sees him knows the direction he's headed. So we're really happy.
Ken, you're going to be celebrating this company 18 years in operation. You guys have developed Tim Bradley, Mauricio Herrera, Danny Roman, and some other world champions like Johnny Perez. You don't need to do this. You have another day job. You're doing okay. What made you get into this racket?
Oh, I love boxing. And once you get involved in it, it is not a sport. It's really a life. It's something that you really want to do.
You get more satisfaction out of making a successful business deal or developing a world champion?
Both.
Both. Who says it has to be one?
But the boxing side, you see kids, you sign very young, and you bring them up, and you see their development from a kid who's just hungry to being a world champion. A kid like Danny Roman, who just recently. How satisfying is that for you?
Well, you know, to be honest with you, there have been a lot of fabulous young fighters that we brought up, and we have a lot right now. So it's exciting to bring them up from the very beginning to see how they perform. We look at their trainers, their managers, you know, because it's a team. It's not just one person. So everybody working together, you put together a great show, and a young fighter can go all the way as long as he has the right guidance. And that's the most important thing.
You built up the DoubleTree in Ontario. It's your home. It's sold out all the time. But now you're expanding. Salinas today, Sacramento, Midland, Texas, we're going to be going. Why go to different spots?
Well, when we see opportunity, we move in that direction. And that's the most important thing. If you have the opportunity to go someplace where we have
we're going. Sacramento, we're going. Midland, Texas, we're going. So, and don't forget Ontario and Orange County.
Yeah, and by the way, there's Andy Vence saying hello. Ken, 18
we'll get
years
you, Andy.
in
Hold
business. What's the most memorable moment you've had in boxing?
I would say, you know, it's hard to describe that because you've got some great fighters and they've all had their moments. So, you know, one of the big deals was when Timothy Bradley won his championship in Nottingham. That was very, very big for all of us. And one of the other very, very strong highlights, you know, with Johnny Perez when he won in Treasure Island. Whenever a guy wins a title, it's a big deal. But one of the very exciting moments when there was not a title involved was when Jose Cito fought Victor Ortiz.
Yes.
And won. That was a big night. One of the best and most memorable nights I've ever seen.
That was at the Staples Center, I believe, in 2012. And if I'm not mistaken, Jose Cito took that fight on about 3 weeks' notice. Alex Campanova and Mr. Thompson said, you know what, we could roll the dice here. And they parlayed that into some very big fights afterwards.
Right. Next fight was Alvarez, Canelo, and you know, Madonna, a few of the guys that were really on top of the game. And because he looked so good, even though he didn't come out a victor on some of those fights, people still want to see him fight. He's got a fight in July, I think,
yes,
if I'm not mistaken.
People love the stream. They're saying thank you very much, Mr. Thompson, for providing this stream for the fans. We've had people in Nicaragua, Guatemala, Puerto Rico, the Dominican, the Philippines, Australia, and all over the United States watching. But I think Kelly Thompson says, go, Dad.
She's my number one fan.
There it is. Okay.
But I'll tell you something. I want to thank everybody around the world that does have an opportunity to watch these fights because we try to do a very, very competitive venue. And when people know that, I think they're more inclined to watch. So I want to thank all of you around the world, and I hope you enjoy the evening.
Thank you, Mr. Thompson. The member of the California Boxing Hall of Fame does a great job for Southern California boxing and bringing you some of the best up-and-coming fighters. Our next fight coming up is going to be Max Becerra, Eric Martinez, and Sonny Franco is the man inside the ring.
Here we go, fight fans. Let's get the action going once again. Please welcome out of the red corner from Baja California, Tijuana, Mexico. Here is Eric Martinez.
El Gallo Colorado, Vicente Fernandez. That's what he's coming into. Eric Martinez at Azteca Gym in Tijuana. This is a guy, if you know anything about Thompson, you see him a couple times. He used to be nicknamed Facebook because he was always on it. He said, don't call me that anymore. But I got to let you know because you're like, hey, that might be the Facebook guy. That's him.
Yeah. Yeah, he didn't want to be accused of giving away too much personal information.
Yeah, or you get called to Congress.
And now please welcome his opponent out of the blue corner from Vacaville, California. Here is Max El General Becerra.
Max Becerra out of Santana, or is it Santa Ana?
Ladies and gentlemen, once again from the Storm House in Salinas, California, Thompson Boxing Promotions and Banner Promotions are proud to present the next bout of the evening, scheduled for 6 rounds of action in the 137-pound weight division. At ringside, your 3 judges scoring the bout, should it go the distance, are Suzanne Thomas Gitlin, Kermis Bayless, Anna Marshall Walker, and the man in charge of the action at the bell, your referee, Edward Coyantes. Fight fans, here we go. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner to my left. He steps in the ring tonight wearing the black trunks with the tiger print. When he stepped onto the scale, he went officially at 138.8 pounds. As a professional, his record stands 14 victories against 11 defeats with 1 bout even. 8 of his victories coming to you by way of KO. Ladies and gentlemen, damas y caballeros, de Baja California, Tijuana, Mexico, introducing Eric Martinez. And introducing his opponent, fighting across the ring out of the blue corner to my right. He stepped to the ring tonight wearing the gray trunks trimmed with black and white. When he stepped onto the scale, he went officially at 138.4 solid pounds. As a professional, he has an outstanding record, including 13 victories against 2 defeats with 2 bouts even. 8 of his victories coming to you by way of KO. Ladies and gentlemen, the fighting pride of Vacaville, California, here is Max El General Becerra. Once again, your referee in charge, Edward Coyantes, give the final instructions.
Gentlemen, you receive the rules in the dressing room. Receive each of the reglas atrás. I want to remind you to protect yourself at all times and obey my commands at all times. Todo el tiempo, okay? Es legal aquí. Es legal aquí. Choco guantes, suerte. Good luck.
Okay. And we take a look at the tail of the tape. Max Becerra, 30 years old, has a 4-year age. You want to call it an advantage over Eric Martinez. We are scheduled for 6 rounds in the junior welterweight division.
Becerra from Vacaville, California, Northern California, about 2 hours away. Has a lot of fans here. Resides now in Santa Ana. Started boxing at the age of 11. The nickname El General, well, Lupe Contreras, the Quien es Más Macho ring announcer, said, you look like a general. That has a nice ring to it. And there it is. Nicknames are given to you. Sometimes you earn them. You don't give them to yourself, at least the good ones. Becerra gets hit with the left hook right away. Clipped him from El Tigre.
Beto, his right hand didn't come back up properly or quickly enough in a defensive position. Ran right into that left hook. I don't think he ever saw it.
Eric Martinez has pop in that hand. Don't let the 14-11 record fool you. This guy has gone up against some of the better fighters in his division. And sometimes on short notice, he always comes to scrap. The Mexican in the black.
Well, Beto, you take a look at his last 3 losses to Zachary Ochoa, Julian Sosa, and Juan Ruiz. Combined record of 45-1-1. So certainly a well-seasoned, hard-nosed veteran is Martinez.
Aro Altamira y Lopez. Hello, how you doing in Oklahoma?
You know, Becerra started off this round really strong, looking good, laying off combinations and letting punches go, but goes to show you, you really don't know much about a kid until they actually face someone that hits back.
Asked Martinez in the black, what do you know about your opponent? He said, nothing. Like, what are you going to do? He said, I'm going to come win.
You know, Becerra really has that long, lean frame of a puncher. And certainly gets a lot of torque on that left hook. Looks like he has his legs back, though, Beto, from that big left hook that caught him early on in round number 1.
13-2-2 with 8 KOs. He signed with Thompson Boxing in March, did Max Becerra.
And you can see the long whipping, snapping action of his punches, Becerra. Just has that natural ability to turn it over really late at the very end.
Martinez known to the Thompson boxing world. They use him a lot as an opponent. It's the 5th time he's on the card. But he has a tendency to go for that big punch, that overhand shot. His corner, we're sitting right next to him saying, you're letting him off the hook. Why are you letting him off? Which he had him stung, he just didn't follow through. Good opening round, scheduled for 6. Working our way towards the main event of Ruben Villa and Martin Olea. Oh, there we go. Now we got the Selenas. I hear it. You hear it? You hear it? Oh, man. Selena Quintanilla. Como? Is it? Can't hear it. Yeah. Looking good. Looking good. Anything for Selenas in Salinas. Steve, now we got Jose Ferreira in Argentina.
And let's take a look at what was going on. Becerra letting his hands go real early and bang, left hook over the top. Young fighters, always bring your hands back fast, quick, and high, or that'll happen.
Little bitty bump. Little bumps and pops going here. This is our 4th fight. Brandon Trejo was upset in the opening one by Bogart Padilla. Pedro Moreno got the victory over Sergio Felix. Alberto Torres and Nasif Martinez had a draw.
We spoke about Becerra. He is a new Thompson boxing signee. He's currently on a 5-bout winning streak, Beto's last loss was in March of 2016 to undefeated prospect Arnold Barboza.
That's a solid fighter.
Yeah, fights under the top-ranked banner. Had a good win over Mike Reed on a rainy night at the StubHub.
Wait, yes indeed, Mike Reed?
Yes, indeed.
And this is the type of fight that Martinez likes. Stand there and trade with you.
Becerra certainly has good offensive tools. Just look at the way he throws punches, a lot of snap, a lot of torque. Loose limb guy on the inside. He looks very comfortable even with this tall frame.
Yeah, Becerra 5'10" listed. Snaps him back.
Becerra still has to be careful. Martinez showed his craft in round number 1 by counter-punching him, but good hard shots here from Becerra.
And most of those were hitting leather as Martinez kept his guard really high. Just like you said, Steve, get those hands up. And he's willing to take a couple to land one, is Martinez. Doesn't always work out for him, but that's what his game plan is at times.
Right, and if you're Becerra, you like to throw those combinations. Again, those hands still have to be kept high, and you got to tuck that chin in, or at least angle your shoulders in a way that you're not just so squared up, and you're providing a flat surface target for Martinez.
Martinez with the tiger print. Uppercut from Martinez. Martinez corner telling him, you should throw a jab every now and then. Mix one in. And he listens. But Becerra's the one throwing more of the jabs. Trying to control the round. Both these guys trying to go for that uppercut. Matched up evenly. A nice matchup tonight. This was scheduled for 6.
This is one of those fights. Becerra's going to control large segments of it with his activity, but you could see Martinez laying traps. He's going to try to punch in between Becerra at times.
And that's that experience
Right.
of having 25 fights, or 26 for Martinez.
And this is where Becerra really has to mind his P's and Q's. For all the offense he does, he can't forget to be defensively responsible.
Juan de la Cruz, thanks for watching us tonight. You guys are watching on Facebook. Make sure you send the stream out. Share, like. It's always good.
And we take a look at some of the action from round number 2. Becerra letting his hands go. You see the hand speed and the offensive arsenal of Becerra, but Martinez certainly very game and certainly very, very experienced.
Beto Duran, Steve Kim, and now joined by matchmaker extraordinaire for Thompson Boxing, Alex Campanovo. Alex, you just recently signed Max Becerra. What did you see in him to give him a contract?
Well, Max is a pretty talented kid. He had some issues with his hands for a while, but he's a good local talent. He's going to do very well up here, up north, and he trains out of Santa Ana, California, and he's close to home. So definitely we can feature more and more, and we'll do pretty well with him.
Yeah, Alex, with the trio of signings that you had about a month or so ago, was that keeping in mind with Ruben Villa? You will be up in this region quite often.
Absolutely. First of all, we're coming to Sacramento in June, and then by the looks of the booming success that we're having tonight with this great crowd, we'll probably be back here late July or early August, most likely.
Really?
Yes, Beto, here's a tweet from Linus SQ. Says, the one thing I like about Thompson Boxing, a loss isn't the end of the world for some of their kids. It's part of their development. When you sign a guy, Alex, you let them know that, hey, we're not here to make you 30-0, just to make you 30-0.
As Brandon Trejo found out tonight.
Yeah.
We really have to see what they're made of. It's important in this business. Nobody plays boxing, so it's important for us to see, within the realm of not putting them in any danger, but to understand exactly that this is professional boxing, and if there's a ladder to go up, they have to take every step. It's important that they face good challenges throughout.
Alex, Eric Martinez, the man in the Tiger trunks, the 5th time you used him. You bring him as a measuring stick for his opponents, don't you?
He's a very tough kid. He's not a survivor. He's a tough opponent, knows what he's doing in there, tries his best. He's fought at 47, he's fought at 35, now he's close to 40, so he's in that division. And it's a good measuring stick for a guy that's just starting with us in El General Max Becerra.
Ruben Villa, the 4th, the main event. You expect him to continue to grow and go. The plans for him for 2018 are what?
Well, homecoming, first of all. Everything goes well today. Hopefully he gets that title with WBO, the vacant title with the featherweight U title, and then move up from there. Most likely he'll be fighting here in, like I said, early August perhaps. He's going to fight at least 3-4 more times this year.
Really?
Yes.
You want to get him in the rankings, right?
I want to get him ranked, but most importantly, he needs to keep busy. And develop the way that we've done it with other kids. He's extremely talented. I talked to him before the fight a few minutes ago, and I told him just that obviously I don't want him to get too much pressure on himself. Half of this crowd is here for him tonight, literally. Probably some more that walked up today. It's going to be a standing room only, and I'm sure he's going to feel a little bit of pressure and nervousness. But the main thing is that he comes out and does his thing and gives us a good show, but most importantly, that he wins.
Well, that's a good round 3 for
Becerra
Becerra.
and Martinez giving a good show. Back and forth, good scraps. All right, so the schedule for Thompson Boxing, obviously, Ontario is the home, the DoubleTree. Go out there and check it out. Go to the Thompson Boxing website. But you mentioned June 30th, we're going to Sacramento.
Yes.
Right? And
Yes,
then
sir.
there's a fight scheduled sometime in the summer where we're going to Texas, right?
That's what we're trying to do, and hopefully we can achieve it before September. We're looking for a good home over there that we can,
For Michael Dutchover.
Michael Dutchover and the other guys. And then on April the 27th, we have the return of Giovanni Santillán, who's highly ranked in the WBO. He's going to be defending his NABO welterweight title against Alejandro Barbosa.
Hey, that guy's good, Barbosa.
Yeah, he's very good. It's a very good main event.
That is good.
The return of Saul Sanchez and George Acosta, who we recently signed. So it should be an exciting fight, and we're leading up to our May the 11th show, which is our anniversary event.
Alex, to talk about the quartet of prospects that I speak about a lot, Sal Sanchez will be on April 27th, Ruben Torres, Michael Dutchover, and obviously Ruben Villa. Have you ever had a group of prospects this good in your 18 years at Thompson Boxing?
To be honest, no. We're very proud of the group of athletes we have at this point. They're all extremely talented. The most important thing for them is to keep working and keep busy and hopefully healthy.
As Eric Martinez comes out in the 4th round, really strong, landing some bombs. Update on Danny Roman, the champion.
We're working on his next title defense. We have a mandatory challenger in Moises Flores, and hopefully we can make an announcement in the next couple of weeks. It looks like we're going to be fighting early summer, and it might be in Los Angeles.
So Danny gets to fight at home for once.
Yes.
So
yes.
he won his title in Japan, defended it in Japan, and we can actually watch it the same day he fights.
Yes, we can watch it the same day he fights.
What a concept.
Yeah, what a concept. We're close to finalizing a deal for him, so hopefully we'll make an announcement very shortly.
It's the voice of Alex Campanova, matchmaker for Thompson Boxing in their 18th year. And it continues to grow and get bigger. It used to be just the DoubleTree in Ontario, which was good, but continuing to grow as Max Becerra is growing tonight because the experience he's getting up against Eric Martinez.
Well, he's just chipping away, but again, Martinez is going to lay traps. He's going to certainly shell up a little bit, but then he's going to spring out of nowhere to counterpunch right down the middle. But 3rd round, I thought Becerra did some really good work to the body, taking some of the air out of the tires of Martinez.
In Salinas, California, the Stormhouse. Let the Duran, Steve Kim, and Alex Campanova join us. Sold out, standing room only venue. Waiting for Ruben Villa the 4th against Marlon Olea. Alex, we told Ken this. We got Canada watching us, the Philippines, Australia, Puerto Rico, Dominican, Guatemala, Argentina. Somebody came in from Brazil, Nicaragua. We need somebody in Bolivia.
Keep telling my friends, but they're probably drinking at a bar.
Well, everybody's watching, drinking at a bar. We got somebody watching at Chuck E. Cheese.
Nice.
30 seconds to go in the 4th round. How many fighters does Thompson have under contract?
I believe at the moment we're close to 30 fighters, and trying to get a few more in our roster.
Oh, you're trying to sign some more?
Yes.
All right, so if you got a guy, contact Alex. Don't tell Steve.
Always looking for good talent, and this is a very, very entertaining fight.
Juan de la Cruz on Thompson Boxing is in Ontario, California, not Canada. But you never know. The way Alex and Mr. Thompson think, we might end up in Vancouver.
Why not?
Mark Abrams, yes, we know Philadelphia's watching. Fly, Eagles, fly. All right, we got it.
Alex, talking about Santillán, April 27th, he makes his return. Should he win that fight, what is the timetable for getting in position for that WBO title?
It's a difficult position to be in currently for everybody that is behind Terrence Crawford and Horn. That fight's actually going to open up a little bit of space. However, you still have Pacquiao.
All right.
So it could be a little bit of a bottleneck up on the top. That's the reason why Bradley Skeet's trying to move out to the WBC and all of that. We're not in a real hurry. I believe in Santillán's ability. And who knows, he might end up challenging one of those guys in the very near future. I think he's ready for it, but in the meantime, he needs to stay busy and get good challenges in front of him.
Alex, I asked this question of Mr. Thompson. In your 18 years of operation with Thompson Boxing, what's your most memorable moment?
The nachos at the DoubleTree.
That's absolutely best 650 you can buy.
And the wings at the DoubleTree. Francisco Salazar, the boxing scribe extraordinaire, teacher, baseball coach. Alex, I'm canceling practice April 27th to cover Santillan Barbosa in Ontario. Get your tickets for that one.
Beautiful. Great to see Francisco again. One of the most memorable times, it's been a lot in 18 years, to be honest with you. Obviously, the championship fights that we were able to win with some of our great fighters very early in our career, in our boxing promotional career. Back in 2007, and Yanni Perez being able to challenge for a world title when he fought in South Africa against Silas Mabusa. You know, seeing, and obviously the last win we had in Japan with Danny Roman, product of ours since the very beginning, hardworking kid. You know, the coronation, that particular moment, will be forever in
Tim
our
Bradley.
memory. Timothy Bradley winning in England.
From England to the Silverdome.
Absolutely.
Remember the Silverdome? How can you forget that?
How can you forget that?
Yeah.
It was a beautiful place.
Hey, all you really need, Alex, is just an elite trainer to get you there.
Yeah.
What you need.
Do you know Joel Diaz, Steve?
I love Joel Diaz. That's an
so.
elite trainer. I don't want to hear any no smirching of that individual.
Halfway through the 5th round, and Kelly Thompson watching in Daytona Beach, Florida.
Hello, Kelly.
Main event coming up. 2 fights for now. Bruno Escalante, the Aloha kid. Olguin is next. Oh, now we got Vancouver, Canada checking it out. See? They're checking us in.
And Becerra doing some really good work to the body, finding shelter on the inside. So he's actually very safe in close, as long as he tucks himself in. Done a nice job just busting that body. Oh, good right hand over the top there.
That's good work from El General Max Becerra out of Old Dirty Boxing Club.
And Alex, I can see why you signed Becerra. This is a fan-friendly fighter.
100%. I can see a fight between him and the likes of Manuel Mendez.
Ooh.
You know, that could be a very good local fight with you know, 2 interesting prospects. Manuel is coming back in the month of May. Becerra is also going to be in the month of May in our show, and if everything goes well here, with the opponent that we originally had planned, Cesar Villarraga, who fell ill with the flu, and if El General comes out clean, probably we'll fight in May the 11th on our anniversary show down in Ontario.
Joey Cuevas watching in Indiana, the Hoosier State. Jack Reese is watching us.
Love that guy.
Final seconds of the 5th between Max Becerra and Eric Martinez at the Storm House in Salinas. Salad Bowl, capital of the world.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Yep. No, wait.
So Alex is going to go and shake some hands, kiss the babies, and try to figure out who's going to stay open tonight in Salinas. As Jack Reese says, he loves you too, Alex. Coming up next, the Aloha Kid, Bruno Escalante against Olguin. Olguin always comes to scrap.
Yeah. Take a water, yeah.
This is the 6th final round.
They touch gloves. Good scrap so far for the 6th and final round coming up. Becerra in the gray trunks. Eric Martinez from Tijuana with the Tiger Prints. Listening in on his corner, they said you got to let it go. Let it all out here.
Well, Martinez is certainly far behind here against Becerra. That's put a very, very steady offensive attack since round number 1. And when he started to hit the body, noticeably slowed down Martinez, who's been very crafty, though, in spots.
Chester Caboose watching us in Japan. He's ready to support the 808 fighters. That'll be Bruno Escalante coming up next. Becerra, like him, nice frame. Got buzzed a bit in the first. Answered back. Controlled this fight. We got a good measure tonight from Eric Martinez. If you're a manager, they give you Martinez, you're like, okay, I got to make
Yeah.
sure my guy is
Well,
really ready.
You're going to get rounds, and he's going to make you think in there at times. And he's going to be sneaky. He's going to zing one every once in a while. In between all the punches of Becerra, leather has come back in the form of Martinez counter punches, and you saw what happened in round number 1. One thing I do like about Becerra, nice tall frame, very good offensive style. I think he'll consistently be in some very good fights here in the future for Thompson Boxing.
One more fight, then the main event. Tom Olvera, is that little Oscar Cantu out of Kingsville, Texas? Flyweight, is that who you're mentioning? Martinez telling him it's the final round, pick it up. They can tell you, but sometimes the fighter's gas. It's been good action back and forth. And Becerra showing that he can take a punch too. Good movement from Becerra, El General. Martinez breathing heavy. Becerra going to the body. And the snap is off the punches of Eric Martinez. He's always game. He's always in there. Now he's getting caught. Becerra trying to land a shot. 10 seconds to go in the fight. A good one between Becerra and Martinez. And that'll do it. 6 good rounds, a big smile. They hug each other. How about another hug? There you go. You know, scrap like that, why not?
Eric Martinez probably didn't win this fight, but he's certainly earned more respect. Max Becerra got a lot of experience out of this, and you see the leather flying here to end the 6th and final round of what's been a very good battle here. And certainly a valuable learning experience for Max Becerra, the newest signee to Thompson Boxing.
A good scrap. You see the smile on their face as always as they come and fight. That's what Eric Martinez does. As we're joined by a fighter who's actually fought in this building before, Andy. What's your name?
Andy El Tiburon Vences.
There it is. I just like the way you say El Tiburon Vences. You fought in this building before. You're from the area. How important is it to have boxing in this area?
Oh, it's important. You know,
there's your camera.
The main event fighter being Ruben Villa, bringing boxing back to this historic place where I've happened to fight before. It's great. You know, I feel like this is what the fans needed here in the city, and it's great just being able to come here and support these fighters who I've also had the chance to spar with.
And you told me when I met you, 4 years ago, there's good fighters in this area. We just need exposure. We need people to come here. A fight like this, it's standing room only, man. This is a great
crazy.
vibe.
Great turnout, great turnout.
Andy, your fight against Eric De Leon, as you look back at it, you didn't win, you didn't lose. How did you view your performance?
Honest opinion, honest answer. I take it all positive ways. Good experience, great experience for me. Looking back at the fight, what I would have done different is every angle and every opportunity where I got out to make him miss, I should have pressed forward and threw whatever it was. And looking back at that fight, that's all that was missing. I didn't get beat up. I don't think I lost the fight. Still think I won by 1 or 2 points, but it is what it is. I feel it's only going to make me a better fighter and keep me hungrier.
Let's go to our ring announcer, Sonny Franco. We'll have more with Andy Vences.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 6 exciting rounds of action to the judges' cards, we go for the official decision. All 3 judges, Susan Thomas Gitlin, Kermit Bayless, and Marshall Walker, all see the bout the same, 60-54. In favor of your winner by unanimous decision from Vacaville, California, Max El General Becerra.
Max Becerra gets the unanimous decision. He's now 14-2. A good scrap with Eric Martinez right now, joined by El Tiburon and Defenses. You're what, San Jose, right?
Correct, San Jose.
So you back to what you were telling me, that it was always hard to find sparring, that it was you had to go different places. But Villa is a kid that you told me about a few years ago that you said, look out for him. This guy has something special, doesn't he?
Oh yeah, Ruben Villa is one of the best fighters in this area. He knows his distance. His reaction is good. I've had the honor and the chance to spar with him many rounds leading up to Eric De Leon. Excellent sparring. I feel he gave me great preparation on my reflex. And Ruben Villa will be a world champion. He's one of the best fighters in the amateurs. I seen when he beat Shakur Stevenson at a time at the Golden Gloves. Unbelievable fighter and a humble fighter too to his people and to his fans.
Go back to De Leon real fast. With the draw, and it was very heated between you two, very tense. Again, nobody won, nobody lost. Is there unfinished business?
Oh, for sure, unfinished business. I feel a rematch, they're going to wait on that, and they're going to make it happen in about 1 or 2 years. I feel some of the best fights we've seen, Juan Manuel Marquez versus Pacquiao, some of the trilogies and the best fights come from a second fight. And you know what? I'm just taking it as a positive way, and this is only going to build up to something bigger. But the second time around, things will be differently, and I won't be leaving things in the judges' hands.
Right, so what's the immediate future for you, Andy?
Immediate future, get back in the ring in June or July. I'm actually waiting on a date, but I'm in the gym right now 5 times a week.
Okay.
There it is. Andy El Tiburon Vences. He said stick around for Ruben Villa. That's our main event. Good luck to you, Tiburon. We'll see you soon, man.
Thank you, Beto. Thank you, guys.
I knew him win. I knew the kid win. Thanks everybody joining us right now.
Thanks.
Right now we have a chance to take advantage of, what do you want? Oh, you want us on camera? All right, California. You want us there? All right. So right now we have everybody asking all kinds of questions. Everybody wants to know what Steve Kim is all about. Steve Kim, I'm going to start our news and notes segment right now. You mentioned it earlier. Freddie Roach, Manny Pacquiao no longer together. What happened?
Well, I think it's very simple. Manny Pacquiao simply does not want to train in the U.S., and Boo Boy comes a lot cheaper. Manny Pacquiao, when he pays Freddie Roach, is a 7-figure payday.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Freddie lives well. Freddie had a very good run, 16, 17 years. They made history together. It was a modern-day version of Ali and Angelo Dundee. But look, there are very few happy endings in the sport of boxing. Even Ray Leonard got rid of Angelo Dundee at the very end. But Boo Boy has been there, and let's be honest, Freddie Roach is a brilliant trainer, a Hall of Famer, but a guy like Manny Pacquiao in many respects is also automatic pilot.
Yeah,
he's not going to suddenly forget how to fight. So Freddie saw this coming, though, for a few. This did not completely take him by surprise.
All right, Canelo Triple G update. Here you go, people.
Well, Tom Loeffler called for a media luncheon on Thursday at the Palm, and I just want to thank Tom. That was a great lunch. Nothing was announced, but it was a great lunch. And listen, what I think is going to happen, reading between the lines, April 18th, Canelo and Golden Boy have their hearing with the Nevada State Athletic Commission. My gut feel is that Canelo, whatever he gets in terms of a suspension, will then provide the roadmap for what Golovkin does, whether he fights May 5th or takes a tougher fight and then does the rematch in September if Canelo is eligible to fight.
And for more, go to UCN Live and follow Steve and read all his articles. More news and notes coming up later, but next is our co-main event.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get the action going once again. Please welcome out of the red corner from Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico. Here is Duel El Elegante Olguin.
Duel Olguin, Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico is where he's from. Comes to scrap. Seen him about 4 different times at different weights. Comes to mix it up with you.
Now please welcome his opponent. Out of the blue corner, from San Mateo, California, here is Bruno, the Aloha Kid Escalante.
It's a real short ring walk, so you guys don't get the songs all the way, but Bruno Escalante, the Hawaiian, Filipino roots, coming into Los Fabulosos Cadillacs, El Matador. There you go. We got all the countries covered there. And our ring announcer, Sonny Franco, ready for the particulars.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again from the Storm House in Salinas, California, Thompson Boxing Promotions and Banner Promotions are proud to present the co-main event of the evening. Scheduled for 8 rounds of action in the 116-pound weight division. At ringside, your 3 judges scoring the bout, should it go the distance, are Suzanne Thomas Gitlin, Kermit Bayless, and Marshall Walker. And the man in charge of the action at the bell, your referee, Dan Estelle. Fight fans, here we go. Introducing first, fighting on the red corner to my left. He steps to the ring tonight wearing the black trunks. When he stepped onto the scale, he weighed in officially at 117.9 ready pounds. As a professional, his record stands 11 victories against 9 defeats with 2 bouts even. 9 of his victories coming to you by way of KO. Ladies and gentlemen, damas y caballeros, de Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico, introducing Duel, el elegante Olguin. And introducing his opponent, fighting across the ring out of the blue corner to my right. He stepped in the ring tonight wearing the black trunks with gold and red. When he stepped onto the scale, he went officially at 115.6 solid pounds. As a professional, he has 20 fights to his credit, including 16 victories against 3 defeats with 1 bout even. 7 of his victories come to you by way of KO. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us tonight from San Mateo, California, introducing Bruno, the Aloha Kid, Escalante. While getting referee in charge, Dan Stell to give the final instructions.
These are kind of high. Be the hip. These are okay. Listen, obey my commands at all times. Protect yourself at all times. Touch gloves, come out the bell. Good luck to both of you.
Dan Stell, third man of the ring. Here's the tale of the tape from Steve Kim.
And they are both 29 years old. It is Olguin with a 2-inch height advantage.
Here's our co-feature. Ruben Villa is next after this one. Scheduled for 8 rounds. Escalante and Olguin. It was supposed to be 116 pounds. Olguin came in at 118, had to lose some weight, couldn't do it, so he paid a little bit of a fine as we have the fight ready to go. But the grand Steve Kim and you with the Storm House in Salinas. Bruno Escalante, the Aloha Kid, record 16-3-1. He's a southpaw. I've heard his name for a while, Steve. I don't know much about him.
Yeah, he's actually trained by Mike Basil, and you can see the snack logo on his trunks. Works extensively there with Victor Conte out there in the Bay Area. Solid fighter, born in Cebu, Philippines. Currently on a 2-bout winning streak. And anytime you see a Filipino southpaw, the immediate name you think of course, is Manny Pacquiao.
As Olguin switches to the southpaw stance, he's naturally right-handed, but he has no problem going back and forth. Olguin had a couple scraps back and forth with Horacio El Violento Garcia, a fighter out of Mexico, where he beat him, but that was actually 126 pounds. This is his more natural weight at 118, where he's supposed to be at. He's got some good names recently, Olguin.
We talk about that, Beto. Some of the names that dot his ledger. Azad Hobanesian, who's fighting for a world title at 122 in the upcoming weeks, fights Ray Vargas for the WBC 122-pound title. Emilio Sanchez, who just suffered his first loss, and Zolani Tete, who is now a bantamweight belt holder. It's been a very focused round number 1 for Escalante.
Aloha Kid was in Hawaii, Philippines in the Hawaii. He moved to the Bay Area at 21. He's got the Filipino sun on the side of his trunks. As Christian Reyes says, Filipinos in southpaw, Steve. LOL. Olguin will bring action to you. He can be caught. He's been dropped before. He's a taller fighter in this one with the black. He's the Filipino fighter. Guy we've seen a bunch, Rosito Hesta, also fights southpaw. And then there's been a batch of Filipinos that are coming through lately, as Ryan Scally has alerted to us, that come in and just upset people.
Oh, Romero Duno. There's a guy that's really built a career off an upset over Chipo Gonzalez at the beginning of 2017. In fact, Emilio Sanchez had his O taken by a relatively unknown Filipino fighter.
Yeah, Ryan Sangalio will write about him. Excellent follows. All right, let's see where you guys are checking in from on the Facebook. Better be some Filipinos watching right now. Yeah, Romero Duno, you spent some time at the wild card. You saw him there. He's actually be fighting pretty soon. The co-feature, Thompson Boxing in Salinas, California. Mercy Mota watching us in Orlando, Florida. Becky Light watching for Bruno. Rochelle Vega in the Philippines. Go, Bruno. Trini Cervantes, Stockton. Trini, your Twitter's pretty good, man. Viva Steve from Team Duno. Rodel Mayol.
Ah, Rodel. Very good young trainer. Works out of Wild Card Boxing. In fact, he trains Romero Duno.
Yeah. Anytime you can get a Viva, we will always say it. Mansfield, Ohio, checking in. More Filipinos coming in now. There you go, San Diego, the Philippines, Bruno Escalante. That's Bruno Escalante. Wemi Romanos watching my fellow Pinoy boxer in Saudi Arabia. Ooh. Thompson Boxing, I mean, forget Pitbull. We're Mr. Worldwide around here. I got to write down these countries we've had so far, because we're going to send this to Mr. Thompson and let him know that our rates just went up. As Escalante, the southpaw, Filipino fighter. I've always heard his name, Steve.
Yeah.
Like the guy who's like on the fringe. But what has it held him back from getting there?
Just kind of looking at him right now, look, he's facing a much taller guy, and he's doing a good job of moving in and out. But he needs to be much closer in, especially at that size disadvantage against Olguin. Got a really good set of legs, though, Escalante. You can just see how well he moves. Legs are very, very thick and muscular. Certainly a well-built fighter.
Christian Reyes from Fuenlabrada, Madrid, Spain, checking in. Harold Espenes, Boricua. The Aloha Kid. Fans in Waimanalo checking in. As Olguin lands right. He's got that thick lower body, doesn't he?
No, he really does. A lot of those Asian fighters do. But the one thing about Escalante is boxing from the outside, but again, from this particular distance, it's going to be almost impossible for him to reach Olguin with anything really telling in terms of punches.
Erika Sanchez in Guadalajara. Jimmy Rosner, Canmer, Alberta, Canada. Olo Juanes, lo camiseta negra. Juanes is the guy singing, and the name of the song, California, is Black Shirt. Tengo la camiseta negra. Oh, man. Jamming. You play that song, women go crazy. Karan Weston, no LaRon Mitchell tonight. He injured his back. Look for him on the June 30th card, where we'll be in Sacramento. Third round of action. This was scheduled for 8. Our co-feature, Bruno Escalante, Olguin.
And Beto, speaking of southpaws from the Philippines, their latest world champion, who I believe is going to have a very good run, is Jerwin Ancajas.
Okay, what's that guy's deal? He looks like could be a star.
Yeah, to me, again, I hate to make that comparison to Manny Pacquiao because there's only going to be one of him, but out of all the Filipinos that have come down the block the last 15 years that are going to be compared to him, he seems to be the one with the most substance, and he's going to be fighting a fellow Filipino in a mandatory match with the IBF. First all-Filipino championship bout in about 95 years. That's a very historic occasion.
Really?
Yeah, they don't like fighting each other.
Ever?
Ever. Hardly ever.
Wow.
Not at that level.
I didn't know that much.
I'll never forget one time suggesting a fight to Gary Gittleson, the respected manager of Brian Valoria. And he said, Steve, that would be taboo. And I said, why? He goes, Pinoys don't fight each other. Not at that level, yes. And they really don't.
Brian Valoria, the original
Hawaiian Punch.
Yeah,
yes.
the Hawaiian Punch. Is he retired now?
A decision has not been made, but certainly they're going to think about things after that disappointing loss to Artem Dalakian back in February.
I like Brian. Hawaiian 2000 Olympian, has had a great career, long career.
4 world titles.
Yeah.
And also, speaking of a very good Pinoy fighter, Nonito Donaire, the Filipino Flash, he takes on Carl Frampton.
Is he really?
Next Saturday night. Actually, in the afternoon, Showtime will be streaming it on their Facebook page.
So Donaire went up, huh?
Yes.
To 126.
Olguin starting to close in, and quite frankly, despite being the taller guy, he seems to be having more success on the inside. That's where Escalante has to make some hay.
Christian Reyes, yes, we know Brian Valoria is American, but Brian Valoria is Filipino roots, and he tells us a lot about the Filipino roots. And have you seen his Instagram? All that Filipino food on there?
Yeah.
Brian Valoria, strong shoe game. Actually, excellent golfer now. Nicole Natali, you're right. He was a teammate of yours on US.
Oh, good body shot.
There it is.
Right there, Beto, he needed to be better on the inside, being the more compact, short little fighter. That was a very good body shot there.
Strong shot by Escalante. There's Olguin. His corner telling him to move with 13 seconds to go in the round. Finally, Escalante wakes up the crowd. Pro heavy Escalante. And that'll do it for 3.
So there you have it. This is where Bruno Escalante needs to be the more dominant fighters in close. When they are chest to chest, you would think the shorter, stockier fighter would have an easier time getting his shots off like that and just coming from up and under, both hands digging to the body.
Lukey Boxing watching us right now. Way to go, mi hermano Bruno. Lukey Boxing with a good Twitter page also. Gives you a lot of information. Fourth round of action. Bruno Escalante is starting to warm up. Steve, was the fight you suggested they want to know Beloria Mayol?
It might have been. I do remember it was when Brian Valoria was a flyweight champion.
Yeah, Ryan Schuler says he can't think of any other Filipinos who probably would have been at that time. Steve Kim, commentator, broadcaster,
matchmaker,
and
provocateur.
Extraordinaire. The modern day Renaissance man, the Kimster.
Korean Nat Fleischer, I've been called.
Thought you were Mexican.
Yeah, that too.
Kumusta to everybody watching us in the Philippines. As you're watching Bruno Escalante, the southpaw, here in the fourth round against Duel Olguin.
You know, another Filipino fighter that we saw not too long ago that would look very impressive at the end on his HBO debut, Donnie Nietes.
Yes.
He's a right-hander, very good fighter.
That's right, Donnie Nietes.
And now you see Escalante going orthodox, switch hitting just a little bit as he goes right back to the southpaw stance. But that's where you should be, in close, right on
there.
his chest, and just be the more shorter, compact guy inside.
Olguin with the right. Now Olguin goes southpaw. You with corner, you're saying, let's go. They're not giving us, let's just go, just trying to cheer him on. That body shot he took was strong. I think it looks like he's got his legs back underneath him. And yet just trying to go to the body. You see Olguin just putting his hands down, dropping those elbows. Jab from Olguin in the southpaw stance. Olguin, one of those fighters where his box rec has him as 11-9-2, and he's like, no, I got more fights than that. Some of those early fights in Mexico that box rec or other people just don't recognize because you don't know which bar he was fighting at. Literally, he was fighting at a pool hall, he said, his first 6 fights.
You know, you referenced his 2 fights with Duel Olguin. He went 1-1. Olguin actually ended up giving Carl Frampton hell last year.
Did he?
What was supposed to be an easy tune-up fight, and people aren't completely convinced that Garcia didn't actually overtake Frampton late in that contest.
Horacio Garcia. Ten seconds to go in the fourth round. Getting ready for the 5th round. Eavesdropping on the corner of Duel Olguin. They're telling him, you're letting him escape from you. When you get close, keep him close, and don't let him move around. When you're there, throw punches. You're not throwing punches.
Through 4, Beto, I have it 38-37, 2 rounds apiece. The difference is that knockdown in round number 3, but certainly a very competitive fight here between Escalante and Olguin.
Escalante in all black. As his corner was very adamant in that 4th round. That's what they want to see him do, throw combinations, throw punches. You see him being more aggressive here. Block his spacing. They don't like that Escalante is moving around. He's not cutting up the ring. Swing and a miss from Olguin. And Escalante's, this gets tough to move.
Yeah,
to try to cut off.
He's pretty crafty and he's pecking and he's pawing, but his offense is very sporadic.
Deborah Keller driving through Texas watching the fight right now.
Eyes on the road, though, Deborah. Come on.
Deborah is with Cousin Bill. They're cousins of Ruben Villa, and Ruben Villa will be the main event coming up next. So thanks for watching us. Their truck driver is going through Texas right now. Here's our co-main tonight.
Boy, Olguin, this pressure is starting to visibly affect Escalante. Escalante needs to make a decision here. He's either going to completely box from the outside or he's going to get back inside and start digging to the body. But Olguin, to me, it looks like he has some of the momentum here in round number 5.
Olguin doing exactly what his corner was telling him to do between rounds. Strong round for the fighter from Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico. Another good right from Olguin. Olguin actually started boxing as a kid because his brother took him to the gym. His brother didn't like it. Olguin stayed. There's Escalante's in the corner. Olguin smothering, lands a good 1-2. Strong left from Olguin. Strong round for the Mexican fighter, Olguin.
And I gave that round to Olguin. It is now 47-47 on my card. Dead even fight with 3 to go.
Steve, Juan Antonio Tena wants to know, is there any history behind why the Pinoys don't like fighting each other?
You know, I'm going to ask that closer to the fight between Ancajas and his mandatory defense. I didn't even realize it until someone brought it up. But could you imagine if the Mexicans didn't fight each other? It would almost wipe out 1/3 of the history of boxing.
Then we wouldn't have anything to do.
Barrera Morales, for instance.
So if the Mexicans didn't fight each other, we wouldn't have quinceañeras or backyard parties. Six rounds, scheduled for 8. Olguin coming on strong the last couple rounds as the Aloha kid, Bruno Escalante. The difference being Escalante dropped Olguin earlier in this fight on a body shot.
Which, quite frankly, he hasn't gone back to, Beto.
He hasn't, right?
No, and look, he's had opportunities as Olguin has charged in to come back up with punches, uppercuts, up and under. Olguin has not made himself very difficult to find. In fact, he's the guy now fighting on the front foot for the most part.
So we told you, that's his scouting report. He'll stand there and trade with you and take 1-2 punches like that from Escalante. Snapping a jab is the Aloha kid. Chasing down Escalante's Olguin. The defensive side from Escalante is strong, being able to move around, not there.
There's a lot of defense and almost no offense.
Yeah. This is the kind of fight that Olguin wants. Get close and let's mix it up.
Yeah, and right there, Escalante has opportunities to let his hands go to the body. There was one right there. Needs to be much more of a sustained attack.
Yeah, he'll throw one, but he hasn't. Yeah. Has he thrown 2, 3, 4 punch combinations yet? Because even the body shot that he dropped him with was just one.
Yeah. Olguin just steadily coming on.
Melissa watching in Miami. Watching with my dad. I think we need an argument, so we put on some boxing. There you go. Thank you for watching. So we have Hurricanes checking in.
Yeah, spring game was today. If you want to argue about something, who's my starting quarterback? But, you know, Beto, in this round, again, Escalante doing a lot of moving, a lot of posing, not doing a lot of punching, to be honest with you.
Yeah, you'll get credit for the defense, but you got to eventually throw some punches,
And again,
right?
there's a couple of good body shots. That needs to be much more consistent.
And Olguin moves Escalante back. Our good friend Barbosa Box tweets, Steve, after Sultan, Ancajas will likely unify for Cal Yafai this year.
Yes. Cal Yafai, who fights out of Britain under the banner of Matchroom Sports, could be on an ESPN card later this year as an introduction to the American audience, is what I'm being told.
Juan de la Cruz drinking a 12-pack of Corona, watching boxing. What more can I ask for? Steve, what more can you ask for?
For you to send some our way.
Viva. Ivan Alberto Duron. Look at Steve Kim's unofficial scorecard.
And guys, last 3 rounds, I've given it to the aggression and the steadiness of Olguin. I have it 57-56 with 2 rounds to go. This fight hanging in the balance.
Ivan saludos a los de Aguascalientes y los Raileros de México. Brian Vega, what up in Vegas? Salvador Carrillo. Make sure you guys go check him out. Mr. Boxing Guru is going to have a pop-up tomorrow. He and Winston will be there signing autographs. Boxing Rundown on Monday. Steve, you're going to be on the Boxing Rundown from Legends Gym?
Yes, momentous occasion for my career. Reach new heights.
You know they give their guests gift cards, right?
Oh, I can't wait.
If you're a guest on there, you get
Montgomery Ward, right?
No. Every guest, from what I've been told, gets a $100 gift card.
Ooh, 100.
Yeah, it's one of those Visa gift cards for every guest that comes on. So congratulations to you, Steve.
I'll spend it all in one place.
There it is. Jonathan Salcedo in Bakersfield. Baco, repping Kern County Fight Club. Seventh round of action.
And again, halfway through, it is Olguin landing most of the clean, noticeable punches here in this inning. Just not enough activity or effectiveness from Escalante.
Dr. Salazar, saludos de Tijuana. Viva los toros y chevale. This is a dual Olguin kind of fight.
No, it is. And look, even when Escalante steps forward, he throws a lot of punches, but they don't seem to have a lot of conviction behind them.
This is the 4th fight I've seen Olguin, and he fights the same exact way against everybody. It doesn't matter if you're lefty, righty, a puncher, a counter puncher. That's why he's usually losing, because he has somebody who makes the adjustments and they control it. Escalante hasn't made any kind of adjustments. And we got a Brazilian, John Vitor, jumping in. All right, put that on the list now.
Oh, good lashing left hand there by Olguin. And Olguin seems to have shaken up Escalante.
Olguin keeps those eyes really wide during a fight. And you can see Escalante starting to breathe a little heavy. And he gets hit with the left. And it's finally starting to mix it up. Somebody finally woke up. Coming up next, the main event, what everybody's waiting for here in Salinas, Ruben Villa the fourth against Marlon Olea, el colombiano. Olguin's corner instruction real simple, because I keep talking about Olguin's corner because we're right next to him. He said, he's done, he doesn't want it, go get him.
Yeah, and if you're Mike Basil in the opposite corner, if you're honest with your guy Escalante, you're telling him, win the round big. I have him down 1 point going into the last 3 minutes.
Paredes desde Chaco, Argentina. Mándeme mi Malbec, por favor. Y viva Messi. And Olguin's got some people on the Facebook saying he's winning.
Oh, left hook over the top.
It is.
Olguin's been a nice adjustment. That's one of those punches southpaws will have a problem with, is that fadeaway left hook from an orthodox fighter.
Good shot landed by Escalante. David Guzman coming with the shade, all right. And for the record, David Guzman, the broadcast team is Beth Duran and Steve Kim. He said, we are making this fight seem boring. And yes, we do respond to all comments, both positive and negative. We expected more from Bruno Escalante
honestly,
tonight.
I don't think it's boring at all. I think it's very tense, but we have to call it the way we see it. It is Olguin, in my view, that has kind of taken over this fight in the second half since that knockdown. It's been tense, it's been tactical, but it is that Mexican fighting him mostly out of the southpaw stance that has done the large majority of the effective work.
Yep, as Alejandro Perez brings it, makes a good point. Olguin's been bringing pressure ever since he got dropped in the third. David Guzman, on this broadcast, we don't do more blow-by-blow action. It's because it's Facebook, it's more interactive with the fans. So it's the non-traditional TV broadcast. It's just something different we try. We really have the interaction with the fans where we conversate with you. I mean, you can see the action, and we just want to make, it's something different. It's completely fun. We interact with you guys. We appreciate everybody watching all over the world. I know it's not for everybody, but we do appreciate you watching. As Olguin keeps bringing the pressure as the fight winds down. Final seconds of the 8th and final round, the co-feature between Diego Olguin and Bruno Escalante. Escalante was dropped in the third, dropped Olguin in the third, and then he came back as Olguin is the only one that puts his hands up to the crowd.
Fighters know, and just judging by the body language, that man right over the top of us in the red corner, last 4 to 5 rounds, he basically took over this fight with the steadiness, his pressure, and his consistency. I would be absolutely stunned if this fight did not go his way.
So it'll go to the judges. Y los de Jalisco están listos. And let's look at Steve Kim's very unofficial scorecard.
And, well, hold on for 1 second. I actually gave the 10th to Olguin, so it's really a 2-point margin for Olguin.
All right, so let's fix that up. Let's fix it.
It was close, but I still thought it was close but clear for the Mexican.
Okay, so you have Olguin winning this one. Okay. I can't read my own writing, so let me fix that on the IT staff did a good job doing it. I put that in wrong. Let me fix this, as we are very technical. And do we have it now, guys? Since I wrote down the wrong way for you guys. All right, here we go. Steve, is this correct?
Again, it's still a 2-point fight for Olguin, but it doesn't matter. Olguin won this fight in my view. Let's just put it that way.
All right, so Steve Kim has Olguin winning this fight. So
My official tally was 77-75.
So Steve had it 77-75, and once again, very unofficial, and it was a really tight card, really tight fight. As our ring announcer, Sonny Franco, is looking around. He's got to make sure he's got the beauty shots. But regardless, though, this is what Olguin does. He comes in, frustrates guys, and is just willing to go with you. And Adriano Tamayo, Bogart Padilla did win the first fight of the night. Sonny Franco was ready to let us know who won officially.
Ladies and gentlemen, how about a big round of applause for both of these warriors? 8 fantastic rounds of boxing action in the books. And now to the judges' scorecards we go for the official decision. Suzanne Thomas-Gitlin sees about 77-74. Kermit Bayless and Marshall Walker both see about the same, 78-73. All in favor of your winner by unanimous decision. From San Mateo, California, Bruno, the Aloha Kid, Escalante.
That is some home cooking. That is some home cooking. That was some lumpia.
That was some lumpia, some pancit, some adobo,
Wow.
some San Miguel, some Tanway. That was a lot. Bruno Escalante's unanimous decision. Like we said, close round. I can see it going either way there. Once again, I don't keep score. I'm too busy reading all the Facebook comments. But when you're sitting ringside, you see certain things. You see people controlling the fight. But once again, the judges are watching every single punch, at least we think they are. Steve Kim had Olguin winning late. And Bruno Escalante had the judges.
I am not a professional judge. My card is highly unofficial, but I found it hard to really give Escalante any of the second half of that fight outside that knockdown in the third round. From that point on, I thought Olguin was the guy making the fight and doing most of the real damage. But again, I am not an official judge.
So the numbers at 77-74, 78-73 two times. Bruno Escalante improves to 17-3-1. Diol Olguin falls to 11-10. You see that, though. Olguin's a fighter. He'll be back on the Thompson show because he gives up-and-comers good work, and he makes it very difficult for them. The main event is coming up next. Ruben Villa the fourth and Marlon Olea. What we got? We got video interview, so what do you want me to toss it to? Right now, is a Villa interview? All right, so right now, California, it's really loud in here. I messed up and left all my notes at the hotel, but Ruben Villa the fourth sat down with the Thompson Boxing cameras.
Fighting for my first title, man, it's pretty exciting. It went by pretty quick. Already 10 fights in about 2 years, so I'm just excited. Everything's going the way it should be, and by the end of the year, hopefully I have 13 fights, 14 fights. Yeah, headlining my first show in my hometown it's a dream come true. I always dreamed about not only headlining a fight, but in my hometown is just crazy, and I'm blessed and I'm happy to be doing it in my city in front of a lot of my supporters. While fighting my first 8-rounder as I'm developing up, it's pretty good. I'm excited. The plan's going the way it should be, and everything's just going by fast, and just ready for everything. Everything's going the way it should be, and I'm doing I was sparring 10 rounds, so 8 rounds should be easy. My opponent, Marlon Olea, he's 13-2 with 12 knockouts, so that kind of says he has pretty heavy hands, and I'm prepared. I'm ready. I got ready good as always. Camp went well, and sparring went well. Sparring with heavier guys, just in case he did have those heavy hands. But I'm ready, and I'll be ready to adapt to anything this guy brings to me. Well, fighting in my hometown is it's a big motivation. This camp it got a little bit more personal for me, and I just took everything just a little bit more serious, just to add a cherry on top of my performance for Saturday, and I just plan on having fun.
fuerte
I thank God for giving us a great training camp.
entrenamiento. Nos hemos preparado
We're well
al
prepared.
100% para esta pelea,
Like
para este
every
combate.
time, we're ready to fight.
Y todo puesto en las manos de Dios.
Hopefully,
Sé
we
que
win this
todo
fight
va a
with
salir bien.
God's help. We're gonna win. My
Ya
fight
gané
against
mucha
Danny Ramon,
experiencia
I learned a lot. I
que me
gained
ha
a lot of
servido
experience.
hasta ahora.
It served me well up to this
Y
point.
bueno, aquí estamos nuevamente
We're here
para
ready to fight.
enfrentar a otro oponente. Cara, pero hacer llegar hacia rival, hacia el
I
oponente.
have the opportunity to know when to strike, when to sit back on my punches. I'm an experienced fighter.
Y un placer estar
I'm
por
really
segunda
proud
vez
to
acá.
be fighting for
Le
the
doy
second
gracias a
time
la
here
empresa promotora
in Thompson Boxing.
por haberme traído nuevamente
And I'm glad that they brought me over
a su
for one more fight.
programación.
And I'm ready to win.
Once again, a lovely recording artist, Miss Sabrina Marie.
Sabrina Marie got down with it. We appreciate everybody watching tonight.
And the,
wow.
The Twitter reaction to the decision, let me read some of this here.
What you got?
From Linus, with some very strongly worded tweets here. I find it hard to believe that there are quote-unquote professional judges in the sport some days, and Barbosa box. OMG, Escalante won. How is that?
Because Sonny Franco said it after the judges gave him the card. He's inside the ring right now.
We only work here.
Let's get the action going once again. Ladies and gentlemen, the main event coming your way. Please welcome out of the red corner from Barranquilla, Colombia, Jerez, Marlon Olea.
Colombian Marlon Olea, the record of 13-2, checks in. 24 years old, nicknamed David. Barranquilla, Colombia.
Opponent out of the blue corner, the fighting pride of Salinas, California, here is Ruben Villa the fourth. Ladies and gentlemen, Thompson Boxing Promotions and Banner Promotions are proud to present the feature attraction, as this is the main event of the evening. Sanctioned by the California State Athletic Commission. Executive Officer Andy Foster. Chairman John Carvalli. Lead Inspector Derek Ans. Inside the ring at this time, WBO Supervisor Mr. Rich DeCure. Your three judges scoring this championship bout, should it go the distance, are Suzanne Thomas Gitlin, Kermit Bayless, and Marshall Walker. Timekeeper Terry Burton. Ringside position, Diego Allende and Adam Sabi. And last but not least, the man in charge of the action at the bell, your referee, Edward Goyante. 8 rounds of boxing for the vacant WBO Youth Featherweight Championship. And now, ladies and gentlemen, from the Storm House in Salinas, California, where battles are fought and champions are made, ladies and gentlemen, let the battles begin! Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner to my left. He stepped to the ring tonight wearing the blue trunks with silver. When he stepped onto the scale, he weighed officially at 124.9 ready pounds. As a professional, he has 15 fights to his credit, including 13 victories against 2 defeats. 12 of his victories coming to you by way of KO. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us tonight, all the way from Barranquilla, Colombia, introducing Marlon Olea. And introducing his opponent, fighting across the ring out of the blue corner to my right. He's in the ring tonight wearing the black trunks with green and white. When he stepped onto the scale, he weighed officially at 124.8 solid pounds. As a professional, he steps in the ring tonight undefeated. 10 wins with 0 losses. 4 of those victories coming to you by way of KO. Ladies and gentlemen, he is the fighting pride of Salinas, California, introducing Ruben Villa the Fourth. Once again, your referee in charge, Edward Goyantes, give the battle instructions.
Gentlemen, we're fighting on the unified rules of boxing. I want to remind you to protect yourself at all times, and obey my commands at all times. Okay? Aquí está legal. That's illegal below the belt line. Aquí está legal. Okay? Suerte, chocomantes.
Edward Goyantes, the referee, the tell of the tape, Steve Kim.
And what really stands out is his age. Ruben Villa making his homecoming at 20 years old. This could be the very beginning of a fun ride here in Salinas.
And you hear the crowd with the RV4 chant, Ruben Villa the Fourth. And it is a sold-out Stormhouse in Salinas to watch the hometown kid, the 20-year-old Ruben Villa the Fourth, fight as a professional for the first time where he grew up.
Beto, we heard from Artie Palulo and Alex Campanovo and Mr. Thompson today. I would say, at least for Thompson Boxing, this has been by far the most heavily touted amateur that they ever signed coming into the pro ranks. They have invested a lot of money into this, and they do believe that they not only have a future champion on their hands, perhaps someone who could be a local attraction.
Well, it's loud inside this building. It serves as a indoor soccer facility and softball, the Stormhouse in Salinas. 1,000 people, standing room only. Villa is credited for having sold over 500 tickets personally. At least his mom was involved with it. He said it's been different because everybody's texting him, everybody's calling him, everybody's leaving messages, so much so that he shut off his phone yesterday and checked into the official fight hotel just so he can lock in and focus.
And the bulk of this camp for Ruben Villa was held in Riverside at the Robert Garcia Boxing Academy. Much more stringent sparring available there at that particular gym than, let's say, Salinas.
Yeah, Villa is trained by Max Garcia, the Garcia boxing legends in this area. We've actually gone and done sparring with Joel Diaz and Coachella before. This one was for Robert Garcia in Riverside. So they know that they have to leave home to get quality work, which a lot of people won't do.
And you can see early on the quickness of Villa. Very, very very, very apparent.
Marlon Olea, Barranquilla, Colombia, over 120 amateur fights, 13-2 with 12 KOs, but what kind of record is that?
A lot of these
On
Colombians.
paper looks good.
No, they are, and that's the whole thing. A lot of that is cosmetic, and a lot of these Colombians come to the U.S. with really big records and high knockout percentages, but a lot of times, turns out they're lip syncing. It's not really an authentic record.
Overhand right attempted by Olea. Countering. The quality of work that he got in that gym with Robert Garcia. Second time they've had camp down there. That's what they feel will be the difference tonight. That iron sharpening iron adage. And anything Villa does tonight is going to get a big ovation. Might not, he won't land flush, but he'll get a big ovation. First round in the books. As Villa looks at him with a smirk. Julianes, saludos a ti que nos están mirando hoy en esta noche. Appreciate all the tweets. Dishonest Truth, Cameron and Sean watching us in Houston. Cameron and Sean watching us for the first time. The homie Dishonest Truth who tweets to us all the time, introducing his buddies to it. Appreciate the support in H-Town. And Mr. Boxing Guru, make sure you guys go buy his t-shirts. They're out there, little parody shirts.
Ladies and gentlemen, just another reminder.
And you guys keep the comments coming on Facebook.
And you see the guy that was talking to Villa in the RV4. That is Dean Familton, very bright boxing mind. His father, the late, great Don Familton, one of the most wise boxing men I ever came into contact with. He certainly taught me a lot for many, many years.
Danilo Gizmo on his way to Mexico watching the fights in the car.
Viva.
That's what's up, Danilo Gizmo. Kendrick Johnson watching in Texas. We're in the 831, Salinas, California. Salad bowl of the world. Well, lettuce picked in this area. Respect all the farm workers. Do the back-breaking work. So I can be fancy and enjoy my kale. As Despacito was played, I think Ruben Villa wants to pick up the speed here in the second.
When we saw him February 16th at the DoubleTree against Juan Sandoval, took some time to get going. That tall frame of Sandoval really kind of offset some of the stuff Villa wanted to do. That doesn't really exist here. I think the one thing that he does respect with Olea, no matter who he fought, if you've had 15 fights and 12 knockouts, you have to be able to punch a little bit. So far, though, pretty composed performance from Villa despite some of the pressure, some of the external factors that exist here tonight at the Storm House.
Yeah, Olea, not much video on him. And, you know, we might not know his opposition, but regardless, 12 KOs or 12 KOs, so you got to at least give him respect for that. Hexar does great design to the Coachella Valley. He's watching us right now. As Ruben Villa, the fourth, the southpaw. And you see those trunks designed by Eddie Aguilera, representing the 831 with the farm workers in the fields.
I like the way Villa's just laying behind his jab, whether it's a soft jab from the outside or one he's coming behind, doing a nice job of keeping his head on that back foot.
Axel Malubai watching in the Japan. Happy birthday to you. Villa making an effort to go upstairs.
And you see what he's doing, Beto. Every time he jabs, he's going to throw that left hand. He edges over to his right, so he's not coming straight down the middle. Real subtle move there. So every time he jabs, he's going to take a half step over to his right side to make sure that he has a clear pathway and he doesn't put himself in defensive danger.
Is that what you're talking about when people say angles?
Right. That is a nice job from a very young fighter of being composed and executing A very simple yet effective move.
Closing seconds of the second round. Ruben Villa the fourth. Marlon Olea in Salinas, California. You're watching Thompson Boxing live on Facebook. Man, the DJ's been jamming tonight. He's been going. Steve Kim, people want to know, do you want some ceviche?
Yes, when don't I?
RCM Boxeo says, when does Steve want some ceviche? Little Celia Cruz jamming in the valley, the Salinas Valley. About a half hour away from Monterey and Pebble Beach. Salvador Carrillo, who hates everything about life. RV is starting to grow on me. How about this one? Boxing photographer extraordinaire, Mikey Williams, for Mikey Williams, and hashtag Mikey Shot You. Listening to Beto and Steve. Go, guys, at Krispy Kreme Donuts. I thought you were vegan, Mikey. Make sure you guys go follow Mikey. He has some great images, and Villa drops a good left hook.
It's been a very sharp performance early on from Villa. Technically sound, sharp, quick. Also like the way, you see, one thing I'm really impressed with what he does. Every time he punches, he gets that hand back real quickly. Olea is trying to time that left with his own overhand right, and Villa, every single time that's happened, has been able to parry it with that backhand.
There's a standing room only section in 4 parts of this building, because tonight is the first time Villa is headlining an event, main event, good. First time fighting for a youth belt, good. First time fighting in front of his hometown fans. First time fighting 8 rounds. So a lot of firsts tonight. Spain checking in. Alex Martinez, saludo. A vos. Rocos is on. How you doing, Rocos? Villa with a smirk. Lands that left. Moves back to Colombian. He keeps that guard up high. Olea's knocking it hit. Like, let's go. I think Olea's game plan might be just try to land a haymaker, huh?
Right. Try to catch and counter. Try to land a shot in the dark. Try to punch in between Villa. But again, Villa does a nice job of not just working in a straight line, and also, although he got caught there, but also always moving in one direction or the other.
Big swing and a miss from the Colombian Olea. Barranquilla. That right there, right? Comes in, then moves to the side. Moving back, answers with the jab, does Villa. Body work finally. Fixes that hair, gotta keep it smooth, huh? Pedro Moreno won a unanimous decision, the second fight of the night, Calab Caderas. A Salinas crowd with anything to cheer for anybody local-wise. Ruben Villa starting to warm up through 3 at the Storm House in Salinas. Big shot landed by RV4.
Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget the Pizza Factory located in the back corner still has hot dogs, pizza, and refreshments.
Make sure you go visit the Thompson Boxing website and keep track of where we are headed. We're going to be going to Sacramento, as you're watching on the Facebook. Also, the Instagram, the Twitter, the YouTube, where you can watch replays of other fights that Thompson Boxing has promoted.
Yes, and Julius Julianis tweets that as hi. This kid Ruben Villa reminds me of Jose Carlos Ramirez, not in the boxing style, but in the promotional thing.
Oh,
And
that's the Fresno kid.
Yes.
Okay.
And,
wait, his name is Carlos, huh?
Yes, and Jose Carlos Ramirez will be defending his title, I believe, in early July, most likely at the Save Mart Center, home of the Fresno State Bulldogs.
Hey, I've been there. I watched the Lakers preseason game there. That's a good venue.
Yeah. And Ramirez has done huge crowds out there in that area for the last couple of years, and the hope is that Ruben Villa can also be developed in much in the same fashion. He's got some work to do here, though. It's been a very technical, sharp performance thus far from Villa. Olea not taking a lot of risks. With a guy like this, Beto, you've got to be patient.
Troy Williams, there's a lot of traffic in the stream. There's always a lot of traffic on the boxing.
Yes, we're the 405 of boxing. Come on, Troy.
We're the 405, 110, 10 meet. Come on now. As Villa is starting to warm up, landing more of his shots. California running the show. Joe Pahara behind the mix, and 3 camera guys. That's the entire crew. Steve Kim, Beto Duran, and you. We're in Salinas. I'm trying hard to refrain from saying anything for Salinas. As Ruben Villa IV in his hometown. Because tomorrow the city will celebrate a 150-year anniversary. You want to party? All you guys read Grapes of Wrath in high school, right? Or you were supposed to. John Steinbeck, who wrote it in this area. I think Salinas. Sammy Hagar was born here. Vanessa Hudgens was born here. Oh, and he went back to Colombian. Strong left from Villa. That was a good shot. Villa looking precise tonight,
No,
Steve.
he is. And look, he has to win one round at a time. In other words, Olea's not giving a lot of counterpunching opportunities. I don't want to say he's in complete survival mode, but the way he's shelling up with his hands up high, Ruben's going to have to be very, very patient and chip away. Patience will be a virtue tonight. Can't let the pressure of the hometown crowd make him fight at a faster tempo than he needs to be at. But I get the sense this is what Ruben is anyway. He's a very sharp puncher, but I wouldn't call him powerful. Not particularly heavy-handed, but very technically sound and sharp. Real craftsman is how I'd put it.
Craftsman, that's a good way, yeah.
Reminds me a little bit of Jojo Diaz, a young man that we've seen a lot the last several years.
Who's grown in the last couple years. Technically sound. 10 seconds to go in the fourth.
And Joseph Diaz will be fighting for a title on May 19th against WBC belt holder Gary Russell.
Oh, there we go. Kick. You see, we're right here. Oh. Look at some replays from that fourth round.
And you can see how Ruben Villa is just laying behind the jab, never letting his head get in front of his front foot. That is a key aspect of what he's trying to do, keeping his distance while certainly trying to attack in a very judicious manner. Very sound stuff here from Ruben Villa.
Rob Dog Reyes watching in Salinas. If you're in Salinas and you're watching on the stream, we appreciate you, but how come you're not here?
Why? Yeah.
Right? The party in here. There's bars, there's $6 beers. I'm looking. Not that I'm, wait. $6 Bud Lights, $7 Modelos. I'm just saying, like, how come you're not here buying us these beers? We're coming back from what I've been told to the Stormhouse, or maybe next door at the Robobank. Fifth round of action. Ruben Villa fighting for the first time in his hometown. Very tough. Marlon Olea. Olea, 24 years old. Oh, Elijah Garcia said no tickets. Yeah, they sold out. They had to put in standing room only. Next time, ask Steve Kim. He will not give you tickets, and neither will I. Chris Rodriguez, they should have done this card at the sports complex so more people would have attended. Chris, your answer to that is because it was the first time doing the promotion, they didn't know what to expect.
They're just dipping their toe right now. No need to go to the deep end. That'll come soon enough.
Because then if we do it at the sports complex and you don't sell it out, they're like, oh, see? But that's the plan to eventually move there. There's Ruben Villa the fourth. The southpaw.
Ruben Villa, best known for his amateur days, splitting a pair of fights with Shakur Stevenson, going 2-2. Stevenson, a highly touted featherweight prospect under now the top-ranked banner. He lands a good left hook and a right hook to the body. And Ruben admits he is absolutely keeping tabs on his amateur rival.
And let's look at the unofficial scorecard that Steve Kim has.
And guys, after 4, it's pretty simple. It's not really a lot to argue about. I think it's been a pretty easy time for Ruben Villa halfway through this fight. 40-36, Villa just methodically winning 1 round at a time.
Methodically, that's a good way to put it. And as always, Sasha Novakic, Steve Kim is winning. You're right. Stays winning.
Not my last scorecard. That was a subject of controversy there. But, you know, they say styles make fights. It'll be interesting to see in the future, Beto, when Villa faces guys that are going to bring the fight to him, how is he going to react? I get the sense he's a little bit more comfortable counterpunching than he is, let's say, being the all-out aggressor.
Big swing and a miss from the Colombian. Coach Jerry Arias says that Ruben Villa holds the max chin-up record at his training facility, which is Tying Edge Athletics in Whittier. Jerry, what was the amount of chin-ups that he did? And there's some good people at that gym. Double B, Bernie Barmancel, Viva Beto, Viva Hammer. Hey, who's Hammer?
I'm the Korean Hammer.
Really?
Yes, because I come down with impunity. That's. I'll tell you that story later.
Thanks as always checking in, Bernie. I'm talking to you soon. Solid shot landed by V at the end of the round. All right, the chin-up record, 27.
Jeez.
Thanks, Coach Jerry Arias, who has a couple of Danny Zamora's guys in there. Michael Dutchover trains with him at Titan Edge, the strength and conditioning.
And I believe Michael Dutchover will be on the May 11th show at the Doubletree.
Really? From Salinas, California, Beto Duran, Steve Kim, and you on the Thompson Boxing Facebook stream. We appreciate you guys checking it out. It's the main event between Ruben Villa the fourth, the Salinas hometown fighter. He's a southpaw against the Colombian Marlon Olea.
And James Gogi tweets, in time for Villa to start taking more chances and stepping it up a notch with more combos. Colombia being 8 trying to win, just playing his role as a good old boy opponent.
So Gogi wants to see more combinations. Michael Dutchover watching us right now. May 10th, he said he's fighting. It's a tune-up fight against Beto Duran. Dutchover, I will see you at Titan Edge. We will work out together, and I will spot you. And that's about it. Michael Dutchover, nice young fighter. Go and check him out.
Yeah, to expound upon Gogi's point, let's see if Villa will stick in the pocket, go a little bit more chest to chest, and take some chances. You know, there is some pressure on Villa, not just to win, but to also entertain and enthrall the home folks.
Put on a show. That's what you got to do. You know, and Villa started his pro career with a different trainer. Then a few fights ago came to Sam Garcia. They've known each other, of course, from their amateur days. They worked together, but as a pro, they didn't. A good shot on the button. Moves back to Colombian.
Boy, that was clever. He feinted a jab, and he came right over the top with the lead left.
Combinations from Villa, but they're upstairs as the Colombian's putting his hands up really high. Alvarez High alum Ruben Villa the fourth. Big fan of Vasil Lomachenko. He says he watches tons of Lomachenko tape.
And you can certainly see the influence. There's only one Vasil Lomachenko, but the spins and the pivots and making yourself very scarce in a straight line, there's certainly an influence of high tech.
It's Villa's 11th professional fight. Only 4 KOs. As he has the Colombian in the corner, he answers with a shot of his own. The development of getting quality rounds against quality opponents, so huge if you have big plans for somebody.
This is a difficult spot for Villa in one sense. Not only is there pressure on him to look good, but he's facing an opponent that is in survival mode, and he's confident enough to bank one round after another. He may not be winning these rounds, but he's certainly surviving them. And we take a look at some of the action from round number 6. One round looking like the other. Ruben Villa, very sharp, very fast, and very quick and off the trigger, just simply beating Olea to the punch just like that, time and time again. Hard to really imagine Olea being given for any credit throughout the first 6 rounds.
So Hector Lavoe jamming here. As we are in the 7th round, the DJ's still jamming. The DJ's feeling it. Hey, go ahead, DJ. Let them fight with the music jamming. I mean, when the song's that good, you just gotta let it keep going. Max Garcia, the trainer. Dennis Zamora, the manager for Ruben Villa. Garcia boxing here in Salinas. Y como siempre, saludos a nuestro gran amigo, el hombre del bigote, el cantor, don José Vitela, desde Monterrey y Montebello. Always watching us. Watches in Montebello on the iPad, Steve. So you know you're dedicated to us. Thanks for everybody checking in on the Facebook too, leaving all the comments. Glad you guys are interacting with each other. We do this for the fans worldwide, give you exposure to some of the next up-and-coming fighters, the talent. He has been first the entire night.
He has been, but I think he's even come to the realization this is going to be a real tough nut to crack in terms of scoring a stoppage. You look at Villa's record, 10 fights, 4 knockouts. You get the sense this is what he is. He's a sharp, technical boxer. It's not going to be the type of guy that bangs guys out of there.
Well, you can also set him up with guys that you can knock out and be 10-0 with 10 KOs.
Yeah, and there's only one thing tougher than to look good against a guy that wants to win. That's a guy that doesn't want to win.
Yeah, exactly. Colombia got his feet tangled up. Saludos a el de los cabezas. Fans like it, but Olea had his hands covered up. Keep that guard high. You see the development of a young fighter like Villa, the rounds, the quality opposition.
Tonight's a valuable experience. This is his first 8-rounder, and he looks like he's going to go the distance. This stuff will really benefit him in the future.
Azúcar! Celia Cruz is jamming.
Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to follow us on all social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. On Instagram, hashtag Thompson Boxing Promotions. Also tonight, we'll stream live around the world on ThompsonBoxing.com and Thompson Boxing Facebook Live. Salinas, California, thank you for your support. Thank you for helping make a sold-out night.
And there you heard Sonny Franco saying a sold-out night. Mr. WP checking in on his former Alvarez Eagle, Ruben Villa the fourth, looking good. 8th and final round. Y saludos a todos los alacranes de Durango también. Youngstown, Ohio checking in. Trestletown. 8th and final round. Crowd still on their feet. And this is great for the economy too. Great for the people in the area, have something to root for. Anytime you see a local kid put on a show, Steve.
Yeah, and with 3 minutes to go, you'd have to think Villa could play it really safe here. He has won every round on my scorecard, 70-63, 1 round to go.
Chris Rodriguez, the party tonight is wherever Ruben Villa wants to take it. If he gets the victory here. Steve and I will be going back home because Steve has a big commitment on Monday with the Boxing Rundown. Villa, 10-0, 4 KOs. Olea, 13-2, 12 KOs. Also, Steve, that power gets developed over the years, doesn't it?
Well, you know, punchers are born, they are not made. You know, just looking at Ruben Villa, he's more of a quick-fisted, sharp scalpel than he is a sledgehammer. You know, when I watched Oscar Valdez early on as a pro, I said to myself, this guy's going to be an above-average puncher. When I look at Villa, I say to myself, this guy's going to be a really, really good boxer.
Gotcha.
As they say, there's more than one way to skin a cat.
Brian Robles brings up Tanahata versus Ruben Villa. The difference is Tanahata fights at 130, Villa's at 124 tonight. But they have sparred in the past together when he goes down to Robert Garcia's gym in Riverside.
This much is clear about RV4. Very high boxing IQ, though. You could see him thinking 2-3 steps ahead. He executes really good movements offensively and defensively. Look at that. Always making sure that he understands there's going to be a counterpunch coming his way, and he was able to parry and deflect a couple of right hands there from Olea.
So Villa goes to 122. Is that his future?
You know, that's a good question. The question is, can he actually make it?
And he moved back to Colombian. The ropes held him up as he's trying to step on the gas here. Crowd loving it. The Colombian headlocking, holding. He was stunned. "20 seconds to go in the fight. Villa with that smirk. Fight winding down. The main event, he comes home, the local kid, he puts on a good show, and that'll do it. They go the distance. The crowd stands in ovation. And Sonidito is jamming. The crowd's fired up. A standing ovation for Ruben Villa the fourth. Artie Palulo inside the ring, hugging his young fighter that he co-promotes. Artie with a smile, a kiss on the cheek from Artie Palulo.
I would describe that outing as not necessarily special, but solid. Got some really good work in. Seasoning, 8 rounds for the first time in his career. Never made the key mistake, never hung a curveball. As he faces opponents, Beto, that are more willing to take risks, Villa will be in better fights.
Well, he's on the shoulders. Sonny Franco inside the ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 8 exciting rounds of boxing action, to the judges' scorecards we go for the official decision. All 3 judges, Susan Thomas Gitlin, Kermit Bayless, and Marshall Walker all see about the same. 80-72 in favor of your winner by unanimous decision. And now, the WBO Youth Featherweight Champion, the fighting pride of Salinas, California, Ruben Villa.
Ruben Villa with his corner, Max Garcia, and he is now 11-0. He gets the victory. That's got to be a cool feeling to come home. He said he fought in this building once as an amateur, but most of the time he was going to different cities for amateur tournaments. As a pro, he's never fought in this area. To come home, fight, sell out the building. Look at that big smile on the kid's face.
And this is step 1 of a very long journey. And yes, Beto, I think we're going to be here several times. And again, this was a key step in his development tonight. And what was learned on this particular occasion is patience. You're not going to look spectacular all the time. You're not going to always have a highlight reel knockout. But against Olea, who was the ultimate survivor and just competent enough to go one round after another, Ruben Villa showed a very high boxing IQ and did the right things. And he improves to 11-0.
11-0, he's taking the picture. Alex Campanova with the fist pump. There you go. Salvador Carrillo, don't you dare say that ever again. But it's funny, though. Robert Garcia watching us right now. Robert Garcia Boxing Academy as says that Villa. Wait, what are we doing? We're saying goodbye? All right, you know what? I don't want to talk to you, Alex. But Robert Garcia said he got ready in his gym, wanted to see him there. So for everybody that watched us tonight, we appreciate you. Beto Duran, Steve Kim, let me give a quick recap. Brandon Trejo loses against Bogar Padilla. Pedro Moreno beats Sergio Ramirez. Alberto Torres beat Nasif Martinez. Max Becerra unanimous decision against Eric Martinez. Bruno Escalante got the decision on the judges' card against Olguin. And the main event, Ruben Villa IV against Marlon Olea via shutout. On the cards, he wins. He's now 11-0. Everybody that watches, I really did write down all the countries that have us. This is really cool. Everybody, thank you guys so much. Because you're watching this on the Facebook stream, Mr. Thompson says we keep on going. Joe Pahar, California, the 2 guys behind the scenes. We have 3 young camera guys. So it's 5 kids total working the show. We can't say thank you enough. For my partner, Steve Kim, and Mr. Thompson, Alex Campanovo, I'm Beto Duran saying thank you for watching. We will see you soon on Thompson Boxing.